Good morning, traders. How we doing in this market? Let's go ahead and get right to the action. A lot going on right now. We'll also be taking a look to see what happened here with PCE. But first, we'll get into the playbook. Then we'll talk a little bit about some economic data in our Sunrise report. Let's get to the action. You guys know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool. Let's kick off today's playbook. All right, first up, let's get it started with CleanSpark today. Of course, I've been trading this company multiple times, guys. We'll take a look at the action. Let's see what the charts is saying here. And you guys can see right now, I'm looking at the 1 minute just to see the recent action. It did just crack 17 there. I think it's a big level to watch today. We'll see what happens. We did recover yesterday. Now we're up there towards 17. I'm going to look for an attempt to move back towards maybe the gap towards 1670s and 1660s, but really looking for this to start to push back towards the 18 and the 19. Can this eventually finally make the run and get above 21, let's say, and going towards the 22 is going to be very vital. Can it get up there? Definitely has the opportunity. The only question is, will it get the run now? We need volume. What do we need for this to happen? The 21 and the 23. Well, I'll put it in perspective, team. I think it's all about Bitcoin. Right now, 70,000 is on the watch. Keep your eyes open for that. That's what's going to determine it. I'll be watching Bitcoin to see if it hits that 70,000 resistance and actually blows through. Maybe the road to 100K is right here. Just stay alert, team. All right, next one up is CAT. Let's keep it moving. CAT, of course, is a repeat one on the week. We were talking about this earlier for the 9 a.m., 9 EMA kind of recovery. And let's take a look at the chart. You guys can see how this is starting to recover that 9 EMA. Yesterday, really good day to watch. Now we got to watch to see if we get through that. Do we get a day two move? 350.16 is the level to watch on the upside. I'm watching for that 350 break. If we could get that, we can maybe run back towards this 365 and 370. So you're talking about a nice, let's say 18 points higher. Let's see what happens today. I'd be looking for attempted takedowns through the 345 to recover. And this morning, we already got one of those where you were down here towards kind of 345. And that's an 8 a.m. print. So I'm not going to really trust that. But in the after hours yesterday, you were down at 345. That's what I'd be looking for, some pullback attempts, but this is looking good. And keep your eyes, of course, on the space. Deer is another one that I definitely think is an important one to watch. And there's a couple more that you guys can keep watch. I'll tell you what, if you guys actually take a look at the playbook, there's one that I'm not going to mention today, but you have to go over to our Twitter post to go see that. Get on over on X. Check it out, team. All right, let's get to the third play here, which is we're talking about XLF, and we'll be taking a look to see what happens here with the financial space. Of course, we'll be watching to see if we get continued breakdown, as I've been looking to see this kind of go sideways and now get the takedown. So let's see what happens here. The chart is going sideways. The 9 EMA is right there. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Now, what I'd be looking for? Well, I'd be looking for hourly resistance to kind of reject. So you guys can see here how there's a resistance right above towards like the, say, 4340s, 4430 area. This is going to be the layer that I'd be watching today to see the stock actually go up to, reject it, and then get short off of that, right? And so that'd be that third attempt to create that high here. Then it fails, then looking for the takedown. We'll see what happens here in XLF. And with that mentioned, you can take a look at like Goldman Sachs, very similar pattern I'll be watching, right? This broke down from the 500, is coming back to the 500, maybe gets slightly above the 500 for like a couple of minutes, maybe even up towards, let's say, 502, and then a takedown right back through that 500, going to the 485. You can also look at Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo, of course, you guys can see how this is starting to get the bounce, right? But all the levels point to what? That there's some resistance right here, right above it. A lot of wicks into the area of the 60-50s. So this could just float right back down here, back towards 57, back towards maybe even 56. So I like this also. It already rejected in the morning here. So this one might actually lead the downside action right out the gates. We'll see what happens if this one does get the bounce, but looking for these banks and a bunch of the financials to start to tumble. That's going to do it for our playbook this morning. Like always, the playbook is about a strategic outlook, right? These are the 3 stocks I'm watching today: CleanSpark, CAT, XLF, but there'll be plenty more that we'll be talking about, of course, during the stream. Like always, smash the like if you guys like the playbook. The playbook's been on fire. Some great stocks this week. We had Nextera Energy on there. We got Citi on the short side. Actually, we're able to play that one live. So that's what it's all about, guys. I'm going to continue trying to give you guys value. These sometimes are psychological. They're sometimes focused on sensitive interest rates, like right now with that CAT play. We'll see what happens. Like always, you need to be mixing in variables here. That's the biggest thing for the playbook that I like to do. I like to bring in the story, the fundamentals, and the technicals. Combine that with some market outlook, like interest rate focus, monetary focus. We'll see what happens, guys. Smash the like if you guys enjoy the playbook. All right, guys, it's time to kick it off into the Sunrise Report, and we'll take a look to see what happened in PCE. You guys smash the like, and let's get over to the Sunrise. First up, we got to talk about PCE index, right? Let's take a look at that action. Let's first talk about the month-over-month action. Month-over-month came in here for June at 0.1 versus the 0.1 estimate. So prior being 0, nothing to shake here. Just regular order came through right there, the expectations right on top of it. Then we look at the year over year. The year over year for June came in at 2.5 versus a 2.5 estimate. 2.6 being the prior. So still seeing that trend of inflation start to come down and the market reacting off of this, but really not much. Just kind of mixed noise on this. You got an up move, a down move. Now I think this actually leaves room for a little run here at the gates, and then eventually seeing this to start to come down again, because like I talked about yesterday to me was more of a relief rally. Relief rally meaning that it could still kind of rally a little bit back. But do I think this is coming back, let's say, to 200, 300? No, guys. This is going to be more of a situation where I think we're just fighting and trying to climb back some of these losses that you started to give up. But do I think we're going right back towards the highs? No, I think this is more of a psychological cut down, and we could still see some more cut down ahead of the big earnings reports that will be coming next week, right? We'll get Apple. Some of those bigger boys could turn this right back around. So keep your eyes open. And that's how we kick off the Sunrise Report. We still got a lot to talk about here. So let's go towards the first one up. We'll get into Bristol Myers here as we talk towards the next headline. Did you guys catch this earnings report? Let's get to it. Let's talk a little bit about what happened here. In earning news, Bristol Myers delivered a strong Q2 results here with adjusted EPS at $2.07, beating the $1.63 estimate. Sales of $12.201 billion, surpassing the $11.547 billion estimate. The company also raised its 24 adjusted EPS outlook at 60 cents to 90 cents on the high end, exceeding the prior guidance. Investors are pleased with this earnings, and you guys can see it in the increased price in Bristol Myers. So BMY getting a nice lift. Keep your eyes on this action, as I think we could see a nice little lift in even healthcare names, as they have taken a little bit of a pullback. We'll see what happens here in Bristol Myers. Let's get to the second one here. We'll go towards the next earnings, which is outdoor footwear. And this was an interesting one. I was thinking about trying to take a shot on this one because Nike was beaten down and it actually hurt this stock, which had been killing it. I'm telling you guys, Decker Outdoors, if you don't know it, take a look at the financials. You'll be surprised. So Decker's Outdoor also impressed with a Q1 of 25 adjusted EPS of $4.52, beating the $3.48 estimate. So huge beat there. Sales of $825 million, exceeding the $807.94 million estimate. The company did increase their full year 25 diluted EPS guidance at $29.75 on the low end to $30.65 on the high end, with a 10% increase in net sales to $4.7 billion. Deckers is definitely one that you want to know, guys. Deckers Outdoors just killing it here, guys. So We'll see what happens if they can continue beating it. And this could turn around a Nike's report today. We'll be watching that towards the trading action. Let's get to the next one here. On the flip side of things, the disaster stock of the day here is Dexcom, as shares plunged over 35% after lowering its fiscal full year revenue guidance to $4 billion and $4.05 billion from earlier expectations. Q2 revenue, missing the estimate here, came in at $1 billion versus the expectations of $1.04 billion. In sympathy, we'll also kind of keep watching to see what happens, as there's other stocks that will be getting hit off of this. Of course, Dexcom has medical devices, so medical device area is a place where you can be careful today. We'll see what happens here. Let's keep it moving, guys. And what's up with the beer out there? Where's all my beer follows? Is it a Boston beer party out there? We'll see what happens. Boston Beer Company, of course, the maker of Twisted Tea and Samuel Adams, saw its shares sliding 5% after missing Q2 estimates. They posted earnings of $4.39 per share on revenues of $579 million. Of course, this did exceed the expectations here, but I think that you got to kind of be looking at it here. Sam's is not looking good. It's just been on a complete downturn since, of course, the disaster of the seltzers. But we'll see what happens. Sam is a company definitely that has some good beer, but doesn't seem to have the good fundamentals here. We'll see what happens, guys. Is it a Boston beer party? What's your favorite Samuel Adams seasonal? Let me know in the chat. I'm a big Winter Lager fan, but and I've been to the Samuel Adams factory. It's really great. I've seen the guy with the beard making beer. That's all I needed to see. Let's get to the next one here, guys. What about Paris and the Olympics? As we're shifting to sports and streaming, the Paris Olympics, of course, will be kicking off, guys. There'll be some announcements even today. This will be the latest test whether sports can really boost subscribers for NBC's Peacock, right? Paramount, right? This will be the first entire summer games offered on Peacock. NBC Universal planning exclusive Olympic event here. We'll see what happens here, guys. Can they get a subscriber boost? NBC Universal has already sold more than $1.2 billion in advertising for the summer games. So we'll see what happens with this one, if it can lift NBC Universal stock. And I'll also be watching to see what happens to other kind of subscribers in different areas. And just overall, how is the attraction here for the Olympics? Let me know. Will you be watching the Olympics? Throw it up in the chat. And let's go to the last one here as we talk a little bit about some analyst action. In stocks upgrade here, a BOA upgrading a footwear stock, of course, after Dex move. Birkenstock here, holdings to a buy and raising the price target to 65, tells me more and more. Watch out for the footwears to reverse the Nike downside outlook and start to turn things around. So even Nike on play today, even as it's on the support right off the lows, maybe it doesn't undercut and rally, something to keep watch. Deutsche Bank upgrading Lockheed Martin to buy is the last one that I'll bring up here, as they're raising the price target to 600. I've seen multiple upgrades for Lockheed Martin in the last couple of days, so keep your eyes and maybe see the defensive area start to get a lift. So if the defensive area starts to get a lift, what does that tell me? Be careful, guys, because we still could have some downside in this market. But that's going to do it for us. Like always, guys, that's going to be your morning rundown. The Sunrise Report is here always to give you guys value. Quick way to run through some headlines in the market on why stocks are moving and which stocks are moving today. These are some major names. Keep your eyes on them. We'll see what happens, guys. And follow us on social media and Discord to keep up with all the action. Now it's time to kick off the live trading action. You know where you're at, guys. It's Trade the Pool. Let's see what we can come up with today. All right, traders, let's get it started. Let's see what we can find in the market today. Catching up with you guys in the chat. What's up out there, Vic? How we doing, everybody? Say hello in the chat. It's good to see you guys. Today, we'll talk a little bit about the Olympic prep for VWAP strategy. We'll take a look at some VWAP action. And of course, we'll take a look at some trades out there. What are we seeing in the market today? A lot to take a look at the action today. And of course, I'll be watching the TQQ. Yesterday, we were able to play a nice play there. We were able to bounce back. It was a little bit of a frustrating one because I got too big too early, a habit that I've been trying to improve on. Been doing pretty well. Maybe one day out of the week, didn't do great on that. And that's okay, because the truth is that when you're trying to make improvements, it's not going to just be kind of like A to B and you're done, you're fixed. You're never going to have an issue again, right? It's all about learning here, guys, on Trade the Pools live stream here. That's what I'm here for, guys, because at the end of the day, if I want to act like a hero, I can act like a hero probably out there on Twitter. What I'm trying to do here, guys, is teach you guys so that you guys can learn from my process, right? How I'm trying to make improvement myself in trading. And like always, guys, smash the like and let me know what stocks on your radar this morning. We can take a look around to see what stocks are trading. Right now, I'm looking, of course, at the TQQQ. It's trying to break this 65 where it was a little bit earlier today. I was thinking that maybe we'd get a little run off of the number. We did get a little pop there. It went to 65.75. We're back down towards 65. Seems like we're just chomping around here. We still could make that move, I feel like, back to 67 today and then start to see a takedown. So I think today is going to be a little bit of a chop. I know that doesn't sound exciting, but that's something definitely that we need to keep an eye open for, is for the chop play, right? Tesla bouncing and keeps holding hourly resistance. So hourly resistance now really playing in here around the 226. So maybe at the open, you get a little bit of a move through that 226, but I don't see too much higher for Tesla right now. I feel like we're just going to still hang out here at the bottom and could go even lower, right? There's no reason why we can't go towards the 210s. So Tesla's been crushed. I don't see it coming back instantly. And a big part of this is, why would it come back? What's the catalyst, right? To tell you the truth, there's not much out there. And in the auto space, things have been ugly, right? So GM down to 44s, Ford down to 1124 when it was just at 1450. That's why I'm going to be watching one stock to see when the hell this wants to break down, which is Nikola and Zap. Those are stocks that I feel like have no business being up, but you know how stocks are. It's not about logic here. So I got to wait for logic to come into play, because what happens normally is that the market comes in and out of logic. So at some points, it's reacting logically to what, like, let's say in this case, all auto manufacturers getting hit, that would look to get hit, right? That's the logical play. But then sometimes you're going to get illogical plays too, where certain stocks can make a lift and rip when really they don't have anything or reason why they're making a move. I still remember another one in the vehicle name. What is this smaller one here? I know I was watching it for a little while now. VFC, that was the one. Remember how when this one was kind of ripping and going through the moon, and then it eventually came right back down, right? I mean, just be careful with the automakers, guys. Those have a tendency of getting a little lift and then they're right back down. So Mullen, a perfect example. Every time it pops, it drops. I don't even know how this company's still around, but hey, to each his own. We'll see what happens in that space. Let's keep watching also what happens in the industrial space, because we did get a pullback and a recovery yesterday. Now you're seeing Deere start to prop up. This is why I talked about with Cat. Keep your eyes on Deere. And there's other ones here in the same space, guys. So keep your eyes to see if maybe Picard can recover after an ugly earnings down move, but that could still recover there. And there's other names to keep watch here. This is not the only one. CNH is one that I'll put on the alert here. That's a cheaper name that does have that inverse head and shoulders pattern that we've seen happen plenty of times lately. So here's the head, here's your left shoulder and right shoulder. And a more defined neckline is what I like to see. And this is exactly what you see in this one. And a lot of times, if I want to look to see if it's defined, I'd go to the weekly. So I'm looking at this kind of like 1062 recovery as being that neckline. We'll look to see if we get through it even today. So this is in play. Pullbacks to 10 makes sense. CNH. We'll see what happens, guys. This is not a play that you hear about often, but this is how you find plays a lot of the times. So leaders go to laggards a lot of the time. So the leader right now is deer. Cat can start playing catch up, and then you can start to see these other ones start to make the move also. So a lot of these are in play, right? Farm, heavy construction, keep your eyes on them. And what are they? They're interest sensitive styles of plays to keep watch. All right, guys, another thing to keep watch right now is going to be in the Clean Spark Ethereum action, 1030s right now. ETHU filled the gap, so looking for this to come right towards 10. So this could come back towards 10 and then really start to make the move. But I feel like on a day like today, you could see this start to get the move. So keep watch out there, team. I feel like today is going to be one of those days where we can watch to see if Bitcoin can make a run, if Bitcoin can make that run to 70K. Well, there you guys have it. There's definitely going to be some plays to play off of that. We'll see what happens in some of the smaller plays. I'm seeing one right here. Wint Therapeutics already just ripping in the pre-market. Guys, this thing has already made 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts to get through that 8 and 4 drives. So at this point, it's definitely topping out here already in the pre-market, but that's just the pre-market action, right? The hourly levels have pretty much a nice little stair step higher, and it's holding the 7 pullbacks right now, which is very vital to it. We'll see if it can keep pushing on WINT. And I'm not doing too bad on the day on the swing trade. I did swing trade serve to the downside. I'm all out of it now, guys. I did make a good amount. But this was a definitely, I'm going to say it, guys, this was kind of more of a revenge play for me. And sometimes you're going to get like that, right? You're going to start taking sometimes some revenge plays, and you just got to be smart with that. Today, I'm not going to lie, this was a green trade. You guys can see it on the screen. I'm not going to brag about it. It's about $631. But the truth is, it was a big risk there in serve. Took my shot there. And we'll look to see if serve goes lower today. Serve got all the way up there towards almost 14 yesterday. And after hours, it was at 14. This was just down there towards 9. Yesterday, making a huge move, a 54% move higher. So big resistance in the 1380s and the 14s. And you're seeing it go lower right now towards the 1240s. I had this up there towards 1320s and 1330s. We'll see if this can continue to drop towards the open, or maybe it catches the lift. We'll see what happens there. What's up out there, guys? I don't see too many comments in the chat. What's going on, guys? You guys asleep on me? Maybe it's just the comments not showing up here. If that's so, I'll go ahead and I'll go to the YouTube so I can catch those. Let's see what else is moving out there, guys, and seeing what we can trade. And I'll be still looking to take some other swings. I'm definitely looking to take some swings next week and maybe into that Ethereum move. We get that. Clean Spark is one that's on the move right now. It just pulled back to the 1690s. It's holding the 17 here. So a little part of me actually really likes this move, right? And so I want to see 17 hold today. I want to see the 1690s hold today. So a little part of me feels like taking this shot right here off the 1690s. We've had about 1, 2. They haven't had that third pullback there at the 1690s. But I think by the open, we could be right back up there towards 1715s, 1720s, and starting to break out towards the 18. So I don't want to miss out on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and get a starter on this just at 100 shares. And I could do like a lower amount, but this is one that I think is just going to gap and go, right? And if a stock's going to gap and go, I want to get some opportunity in it early. Now, there is some bid support at 1693. So that's the pullback layer that I can see kind of happening right now, where that starts to get filled and this comes right back. So I'm going to give it the chance to just do that. If it starts to break through 17s, I can go ahead and grab it there. But let me give it that 1693, see if it can hold there right quick, and then they'll turn right back. I'll look to see if it hits 17 and starts to push higher. Good morning, traders out there. Future day trader in the house, Vicky G. What's up, guys? What are you guys taking a look at this morning? Let's get it going. Let's wake everybody up. I know. It's almost 9 a.m. and it's time for everybody to start waking up and getting ready for the market. And if you're not already awake, well, here you are. We'll start waking you up. Guys, you know where you're at. It's ready to cool, guys. Gonna see what we can come up with. And it hasn't been a bad week, guys. I can tell you that right now. I've been battling on a day like today, guys, and we'll see. I've had a pretty decent week. We'll take a look at the action right now, but been continuously positive and green this week. The only thing that is really helping me too is just kind of the battle, right? Because yesterday I could have taken a big red day on that TQQQ. I battled back, got back break even, slightly in the green there with the remaining shares of TQQQ. And then I realized, man, let's just end the day, guys. I'm slightly up on the day. Don't want to push it on the day where you saw yourself big red, you made yourself get back, and then you push it, you're back to big red, right? So, hey, we'll see what we can come up with today. Going to be watching to see if the TQQ can hold these 65s and start to grind higher. I think we still can make a run to 67. So that's in play too. I could play this TQQQ off the 65 right here. Nice little bottoming 1, 2, 3 on the 5 minute. That's holding pretty well. Let's see if it starts to run. You can also watch other stocks like Apple and the tech names. Can those continue to make a move, right? Will they get the lift? Nvidia is already pushing towards 116 here, but it's a resistance right there above. We'll look to see if it holds that and continues making the move. ASB I'm seeing over here. Regional banks. Be careful out there, guys. Regional banks seemed really strong. If there's one area that I need to see the trend kind of really turn first, it's the KRE. But if that could start to drop through, let's say the 58, it'll be a good sign that maybe the KRE is really starting to flip. I was already making some money on this earlier in the week. Now just looking to see if the trend really breaks. It needs to start breaking fast. If not, this is nothing that I want to be fighting. All right, guys, keep throwing up some of those stocks out there, guys. All right, Facebook, I have no idea what's going on there. Page operations management. I have no idea what happened on that Facebook. Let's keep it going, guys. It's been bad for me not sticking to my strategy, future day trade. Well, hey, man, let's work on a bad strategy, or let's say a bad habit, and turn it to a good habit. How can you focus on your system going back to your strategy, right? Maybe it's a checklist before you get in a trade. Maybe it's just 2 or 3 items. Is this my strategy? Do I know my risk? And do I know my reward? Maybe those are the 3 questions we need to be asking ourselves every time we get into a trade to go ahead and make sure we are sticking to that strategy. Like always, guys, we're trying to make improvements. And one of the best ways is to focus on turning a bad habit into a good habit. Let's see what happens out there, team. All right, guys, a lot of you guys tuning in. If you guys didn't catch the Sunrise Report and the playbook, I definitely recommend rewind it, put it on 2X, whatever you need, so that you guys can catch the playbook and the Sunrise Report and know what's going on in the market and why. Today, of course, the PCE trying to shake things up, but really not doing much. Just kind of going sideways right now. We'll look to see if the SPY or the Qs gets the lift. Right now, the Qs are just kind of fighting that breakout back towards the 464.75s. 462.75 seems to be the support right now. TQQQ is going to go back to that level that I talked about right here. We'll see if it's kind of holding in. I see the support also on TQQ that I want to focus on. Let's go to Clean Spark here as I'm watching the 17s. It did hold there. It went down towards 1693s, just turned around there off of that 17 look. Did go back to the 1694. So there you guys have it. That's going to be the layer that I can risk off, the 1690s. So I'm going to go ahead and take a shot here. There's only about 10 cents that I'm risking. So I'm going to go a little heavier right off the start and just risk off that 690s. If I do get cut out, hey, I'll risk like maybe $50 here and take a shot. Let's see what happens. Looking to try to get, there's 1698s. Let's see if I can get 1698s filled on the offer here. All right, got the order out there for 1698s for Clean Spark, guys. Trying to take a little bit of some Clean Spark here in the pre-market. We'll see what happens if I'm able to get that fill, and then just risk off the 1690s. So I'll know my out. I can take a shot here and see if this can start to run. All right, WINT, bullseye. Wouldn't you know it? You're green, my friend. Starting it right. You can't be mad about that. WINT. Did that make the move there? Ooh, it did make the move. What a run there into the 8s. This looks like a little bit of some topping action, though, but we'll see what happens. Doesn't look too bad. What a run in WINT just moments ago at 9 a.m. Really getting that push here. All right, there's WINT trying to make the move towards the 850s. Can it keep going? We'll find out here, guys. Let me see if there's some selling here showing up there. Selling into the 843s. So that's where I can see kind of some resistance holding in there. Right now, it went to 847. Could take the 850s. Let's see what happens here. Got a one up, one down, two up, two down, three up. Could hold in there and break out through that 850s. Just got that Clean Spark there, so we're going to keep watch on that. But this one doesn't look too bad here. We'll see what happens. It definitely is rejecting that 840 run. We'll look to see if it gets through that 840s, goes through the 850s. WINT. What a move there. Biotech. Not a bad one at all. All right, looks like the market wants to go lower. Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks like it, but I think we could still get a little bit of a push and a little bit of a fake out and then that takedown. We'll see what happens here. TQQQ trying to hold the 65. Let's find out, guys. Clean Spark just filled me there at 97s there. We'll see what happens if it holds off that 90s and really starts to push back. I want to see this start to push in the pre-market. I would like to see it go back there towards the resistance in the pre-market. Pre-market resistance is up towards the 1710s. If it starts to break 1690s, I'll get out of this one and look to get back in it later in the day, but not a bad one to watch there. Clean Spark, I'm in, baby. All right, CREV, another smaller name that has pulled back to the VWAP. We'll look to see if this makes a move. Auto parts name that is pushing, man. It's had one pattern, two patterns is coming up, and this seems like an interesting one because it's the same pattern. I love when it's the same pattern, guys. So you can see how this thing went down there and eventually kind of got that lift right off of that. Look for a harmy kind of reversal, then eventually got that reversal. Hey, this one on the radar here, guys. Not a bad looking one here on CREV. We'll look to see if this thing gets hot. 1, 2, 3, 4 reversal. I kind of like that pattern already here, guys. This one, not one that I know too much about. CREV. What are you guys thinking on this one this morning? Doesn't look bad at all. Little part of me feels like taking this 1090s right now. But we'll see what happens here, guys. I'm going to take it easy. I'm going to let this maybe pull back one more time. Getting closer towards the bell here. Looking to see if we can get one more dip in this CREV. Maybe taking a shot here towards the support, 1057, 1050 undercut. There comes the 11, though. It's in play here, guys, for sure. What are you guys thinking about CREV today, guys? You ready for the contest, Bullseye? We'll talk about that right now. This one looks interesting, guys. We'll see. Clean Spark already getting a little bit of a lift there, but this one, not a bad looking setup here, man. I still think we can maybe get that dip to 1050s. I'm not taking it in the pre-market here. I already got one trade on. I don't want to be having too many trades before the open, but CREV definitely on the radar, guys. We'll see what happens to this one. Clean Spark still now trying to recover that 17. Going to look for that nice little quick push on Clean Spark. We'll see if we get it. There, I got 4,593 for a buy on CREV. So let's see if it takes the 11 now. There's the push. There's the spread, too. The spread is a little bit wider now. Starting to get about, 10 cents wide. Now it tightens up about 3 cents for the 11 push and gets hit. So the 11 really being a spot right here where you're running into some resistance. We'll see if it clears it back and starts to make a drive. All right, Clean Spark. We're going to keep a watch on that one. CMAX, another one that's moving in the morning here. CMAX has moved before. We'll look to see if this one continues to make the lift. Let's go to the hourly here as you're seeing kind of the cup and handle pattern, and it's still holding well. So pullbacks to 645 seems to make sense for me. As long as that can hold, you're looking good today. And you guys can see it's holding in pretty well there. Now, maybe the 650 on the pullback starts to rip past through the 690s towards the 7. Definitely in play right now. We'll see if this actually gets the cup and handle move. It's on the cup and handle on the daily. Might do the cup and handle on the 5-minute right now. Has pulled back. Just recently drove to 710. Can it get back through 7? Something to watch. NUZE. Back down towards the 346. Was up there towards $4 this morning. Another one that doesn't look too bad this morning. So, hey, a lot of these starting to show up there. And this is a packaged foods name. We'll see if this can actually hold on today. All right, back to the TQQQ. Did that break down the 65s? No, we're bouncing again off that 65. This makes me want to take the TQQQ here and see if we can get a little run towards the bell here, guys. I don't mind it here, so I'm going to go ahead and take a shot off that 65 here. Taking 100 shares right now. I'm going to see if I can get this nice fill here. Let me see if I can get a little pullback to like 65.10s there. What I'll do is I'll just go, there's the 11s there. Not a bad one there. Let's go ahead. Let's take a shot here. Taking 100 shares, going to add to it on any pullback towards, let's say, 65.06 here, and then hold off the 64.98s right now. Does look like we're starting to get that up move here, so it doesn't look too bad. Just keeping an eye on it. Taking a shot to the upside already here, guys. We'll see how this works out. This is going to be a quicker trade here. Looking for this to maybe run to 66 and 67 here. Now we're starting to get a little bit more lift here, guys. I'm trying to add to it here. Let's see what happens here. Why am I getting a rejection here? Just getting a rejection here. I'm trying to see why it's rejecting. All right, guys, trying to see why I'm getting a rejection there. Maybe I'm just too big and no, I mean, I should be able to fill some more size there. We'll see what happens here, guys. Trying to cipher this out. Should have got some fill there, but hey, we'll see what happens. Maybe there's some issue that I'm having an issue here, but hey, there's 65.05 starting to show up. 04s now, 03s. So maybe I don't get the add-on right now. Looking for this to start to recover here. Doesn't look too bad there, but if it starts to break that, at least I have 100 shares here that I can just cut out. Didn't get that ad there. I will let you guys know. I was trying to get the 300, but it got blocked somehow. I'll figure it out in a second here, guys. Just focusing on the downside protection, right? Not going to let it break here. The support is right underneath it. Looking to see if we can just hold here. Will we cut down towards, let's say, the 95s? That's really going to get me out. 98 touch is okay. Close to 95. I'm out of here. At least only on 100 shares. Going to look to see if this starts to just ramp right back. Back through, let's say, 65.06. I can go ahead and just add to this and look for the nice push back up. All right, Clean Spark slightly in the red. TQQQ pulling back there. What's up out there? How we doing, guys? Hi, I'm late to the desk, scanning to do. Yeah, man, if anything, scroll back. We do got the Sunrise Report and the playbook. We took a look at some of the action today. We're going to be watching industrials, financials to see what happens there. And, of course, the Bitcoin names. What's going to happen in Bitcoin? Keep your eyes to see what happens on that. And DXCM, the disaster stock of the day, bouncing back. Nike is on my radar for potential upside action, even though it's near the support, right? It's starting to get a nice little lift here in the pre-market, already up there to the 72s. Could look for maybe a takedown attempt where it comes right back down, but looking for it to get through the 72.50s and start to climb back. So maybe an attempt to move back towards this trend line first. 71, 75s, and then back through the 72s. Nike on the alert today. We'll see if they can start to bounce. Foot Locker can bounce with that one. And even on that I've talked about for the downside, could bounce today. How's Skechers doing there? Skechers starting to bounce. This one did have earnings. It wasn't a crazy earnings, but could get a nice little up move. Deck is the strong name, right? Up there to 953s. Yesterday was just trading at 850s. This thing's up over 12%, over 100 points. What a trade there in Deck. if you're able to nail that. TQQQ still hanging on there off that 65, watching it closely as it's just kind of chomping around here. We'll look to see if it starts to recover. There's a little recovery here. Going to try to take the shot here. Why am I getting a rejection here, man? I'm not understanding it here, guys. I will take a look at that, see in a second here, but there you guys, couldn't take the 300, was able to get 100 out there. So maybe I just do this in 100 shares here. Yeah, still, I'm all sized in. I don't understand why I'm all sized in. Don't have that much buying power at work. Let me see here. All right, just taking a look at it here because I'm having some issues here. So trying to figure out what's going on here. A little confused on that. I'm going to go ahead and check in on that and see what's going on there. But hey, we'll see what happens towards the bell here. Not looking too bad. TQQQ starting to climb back there. I have 65 11s. Let's see if this really starts to push. Definitely not going to let it break the 65 now. It touched there. Now I'm looking for it to just go away. Just start to push. Break 65, I'm out. So I can put 64, 90s here, 98. Putting a stop limit out there. And I got 200. So essentially, know my risk here. It's going to be very little, like probably about 20, 25 here. Setting it up there. We'll see what happens. I'm going to put it down a tiny amount there, just in case it tries to do that wick out there. So 96 on the trigger versus 98. Looking for this to just push back through the 65-16 there. We'll see what happens. Definitely smash the like a lot for you guys out there. You learned from yesterday, laugh out loud. Yeah, you got to learn from yesterday, man. You got to learn. We need to stop moving our stop loss. Yeah, man. Sometimes it does cost us, right? It does, right? I mean, like always, guys, we want to continue learning from our kind of mistakes, right? Taking assessment. Yesterday, it was about getting too big too early, right? And so I think that's an important outlook. Yesterday, I let that trade just start, and I just filled in too quickly. I filled in at 100s when I was filling in on 20 shares. And if I would have kept that 20 shares approach, I probably would have been doing great there. But like always, guys, let's find things that we can learn from each other even and keep each other accountable. That's what we're all here for, guys, trying to help each other continue to build. All right, guys, 9:15 here, almost 9:20. I'm going to look for this to start making the move now, because if not, you're not going to get it. At least that's the way I feel like. So I want this to run away right here before the open, right? Not be hanging out at the 65 towards the open. If that's what's happening, I'm just going to cut it and then we'll reassess. The idea is for this to run away and CleanSpark to do the same, where it just starts to push right before the gates here. We'll look to see what happens with that. CleanSpark still hanging out right now. The good thing about on CleanSpark, it's also a tight risk. It's about $30, right? I already set the risk there. I'm just going to leave it alone. Let's let these trades work and reassess. All right, guys, we'll see what else is out there today. See what we can find. All right, man, there's a lot to take a look at there. Looking around to see what else is out there, guys. Will CleanSpark make the move today, guys? What are you guys seeing in the market? Let's see where the pre-buzz is at. I always take a look at this. This is kind of a scanner that I have on TC. So looking at where some traders are watching, right? This just tells me where the volume is a little bit buzzing. CVS getting some volume today. I saw pharmaceuticals retailers looking like they wanted to push back. Healthcare plans did really well yesterday with Molina lifting off. That was MOH. So that's one thing that I'll be taking a look at. Molina Healthcare was making a nice push. Maybe CVS plays a little bit of some catch up today and starts to make the move. So I'll be watching this to see if it wants to go back through 59.50s, maybe make a run to 60 today. We'll see what happens. Definitely on the radar, as I see a lot of traders looking at it. Biogen getting some kind of volume. CrowdStrike, how'd that one do yesterday? Did it finally bottom out? Ooh, it did try to do another takedown, and today it's reversing. So I think at this point, I could look for maybe a quick dip in CrowdStrike to try to take the shot on this. I'll be watching this today, guys. I think CrowdStrike eventually gets a nice little recovery move. We'll see what happens there if it can start making its way back towards 277. All right, Adobe on the alert there. Let's take a look there. How's Adobe doing? It's trying to hold this pullback. We'll look to see if it bounces there. Nothing that stands out to me on that, right? We'll see what happens. Will solar continue to lift? It's been sideways, kind of hasn't really gotten that next run. Run is into the 18s, though, guys. We were watching this for a couple of days for the run into the 18. Yesterday, it did the move. Eventually breaking that 18, going to 18.25. Today, you're right at 18.18. We'll look to see if this continues to make the move. First Solar is one that I'd watch to make the second move, right? It did do like a first move. Let's see if it starts to make the move back towards 230s and 235s. There's the TQQQs triggering me out there. So, hey, back down into the 94s there. Not going to go ahead and stick around there. It could still come back up and start making that up move. I just wasn't going to stick around. Took a $32 loss on that, but it's really nothing. Of course, we're going to be pushing a little bit more towards the open here. We'll see what happens. Still got Clean Spark on here. Let's see what happens if the TQQ could make that up move. I'm still not taking it out of, let's say, a look to see if this makes that push towards 67 before the takedown. But for right now, it is trying to crack down the support, and I don't want to hang out there through the support crack. So 64.93s getting me out, and look to see if 65 recovers towards the bell. WINT up there to 863s now. What a move here in this WINT, guys. This thing's just ripping and ripping. We'll look to see if it keeps ripping towards the bell. But this thing has made a monstrous move, guys. From around, 325 to where we're at now. We're talking, 146%, up 166%. What a move here in WINT. And let's go back to that CREV. It's actually one that I'm actually taking a look at. We finally did get that 1050 takedown attempt here. So going to look to see if this can recover towards the bell. This is actually a chart that I kind of like here. Just want to see if it can kind of recover here. We'll keep watch on this one right towards the bell. I'll watch this one in Clean Spark just to see what happens. Clean Spark already recovering there. Can add to that if it just starts ripping back towards, let's say, 1730, 1740s. We'll see what happens there. Catching up with you guys out there. Wisdom, what are we taking a look at this morning? You, right now, that's tuning in. What's your top watch this morning? Let me know, of course. You guys know where you're at. It's Trade the Pool. Let's get to the action. It's Friday. The fists are up, guys. And we've got to keep watch to see what we find in the market. When's the fight coming up, man? I think the fight is coming up. When's the Logan Paul kind of fight here? I need to take a look at the action there. Let me do a little search here. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight is on Friday. Oh, it got rescheduled to November 15? Oh, you guys, come on, man. They pushed it back to November. That sucks. It was supposed to be this weekend, I think. So, hey, that's how it goes, guys. They're pushing it back. That's sucky. But that gives Mike Tyson more time to get ready. I can't wait to see Mike Tyson knock him out. But hey, we'll see what happens there, guys. The Olympics starts. That's what I'll be watching, guys. So, hey, keep your eyes on the Olympics. We'll see what happens there. There's CREV already taking that dip towards the 1030s. So, washing out the traders. I'm going to look to see if it recovers 11. Now, instead of jumping in on the down action, need to see it recover the VWAP. 11.15 right now. We talked about the VWAP. We'll talk about the VWAP today. It's VWAP strategy day. Let's get after some VWAP action today. We'll see what we find. Bear or bull today? Yesterday was just a higher low. I feel like it is still bearish, but we got to be careful for those big rips up and then the takedown. CREV now down towards the $10. Clean Spark back into the 17s, going towards the 1706 on the offer. Going to look for this one just to break out here, right out the gates here, guys. So Clean Spark, I'm actually looking to maybe add here and then just hold off the bottom, but it's starting to push here. 1706, one that I'll definitely keep a watch on towards the bell. Yeah, this is going to be the one right here towards the bell. It's 923. We're almost towards 930s. Would look to see this one start to make the push towards 1720s and then could add some more. I'm at 300 shares, could get to 500, but where my entry is 697 below 17. I'm not adding right now. I'm just holding off. I need to see this start to really drive and show me that it really wants to make the move. 15-minute chart is something that I'm really trying to stick more to, guys. So you guys see the 15-minute charts, don't get mad at me. If it's a smaller name, yes, penny stocks, I'll go down to the 1. If it's a bigger name, I'm going to stick towards the 15 minutes because this is what really helps me in the long run in, like say, swing trading. Swing trading, I use 15 minutes, hourly charts, and then once I make an execution, that's when I'll start going into shorter time frames, just looking for quick momentums to take profit. We'll see what happens. You out there tuning in, what's up out there, traders? A lot of you guys tuning in on X. Of course, don't forget, we put out the playbook and the sunrise report on X, Twitter, every single morning. Hit the like. Let's keep it going, guys. COUR is my Watts online education. Those love to pop and drop, but hey, Coursera, not a bad one. I've actually taken a look at Coursera before, right? It's already popping. Day 2 move, trying to break through that $10 already. Pre-market ripping there, 975, looking like it wants to keep running through the 10. Can this one get hot here? Yeah, it could. Let's see what happens at that 10. Is this a scout opportunity? I feel like it is, but I'm going to leave it alone right now. Coursera, let's see if this starts to really get hot here. All right, guys. Clean Spark now kind of shaking things up here, spreading out here, 1705 by 1693. So that's where I got to be a little bit careful there in Clean Spark as we start to spread out. Look at that spread. That thing's going wide, baby, wide. We got to keep an eye on it because it could take that downside turn through the 1690s, and I don't want to cut through that. I'm just trying to look to see if this could run right before the open here. If not, I can also cut it. But like always, guys, got to keep watch to see what happens here. It's definitely going to be moving all around. The spread there is what got there. It got up towards 1708s. So let's see if they take the 1708s now. The spread went down there to the 1693, and I feel like it was triggering some stops. Let's see if it starts to make the up move. Just trying to collect some volume there. Let's see if they start to take it now. Looking for a 985 on CUR. Swing from Tuesday. Let's go. How much did you start with your account, Money Mitch? Which one? In the swing trade account? Swing trade account. I had an account at one point that was up towards like 35,000. But I can tell you that I did do a swing account one time with 3,000 on good old Robinhood, and was able to make like 30-40% on that account. And then eventually I closed it because I wasn't using it anymore. But I think what is important, man, is figuring out what's your goal here, Bullseye. What's your real goal, right? Is it to try to make an account, or is it that I want to learn how to trade, right? Because there's two things there, right? Making an account and trying to get above that PDT rule is very important. But at the same time, you got to understand, is that what I'm looking to do here, right? Because if that's what you're looking to do, maybe saving up seems to be the better way to get towards that 30K versus trying to trade to that 30K just so you can go ahead and go back to trading with that, right? So you're trading to make trading happen. That's where it gets a little bit confusing, right? I want to make an account big enough. Well, hey, That's what Trade the Pool is here for, Bullseye. I think one thing that you need to take a look at is, can you take one of our eValves account and make it happen? Show me that, right? Because you've done great in paper. I want to see you do great in live trading. Get after it, man. And essentially on the eValves, you're on that paper. So go make that paper, baby. Get after it. All right, guys, we'll see what else is out there. 30K will take me many years on this stage. Yeah, that's the truth, right? And if you really want to be a trader, I'm telling you right now, at minimum, you're probably going to need 30K in real capital to make some gains. And the truth is, you're going to need more than that, right? That's why Trade the Pool eValves get you what? Insane buying power, right? It starts to actually move up so that you can make these big trades. The truth is, even with a $25,000 account, you might need to leverage in bigger into one name just so that you can get that one move, right? Well, the truth is, you need to have the ability, you need to have buying power. For right now, you need to learn to be the good trader. Let's be a pro, let's prop trade, let's try to get after it, learn from our mistakes. Then once we're able to just continuously kill it in the eValves, then you'll get your account. And then once you have your account, you can slow things down a little bit and really try to make that step up to make some profits to eventually make you that account that you want, right? Well, we have the avenue for you. The only question is, what car you're driving, man, and where you're taking it. Let's see what happens out there, guys. And don't forget the competition, guys. I do want to get you guys onto the competition. If you haven't done so already, guys, check it out. Get to the competition, guys. Hit the like, guys. You guys see the playbook right there, guys. XLF, Caterpillar, Clean Spark. I do it every single morning for you guys. Definitely smash the like out there. We'll see what else is going on. But let's, of course, take a look into the Trading Olympics, right? We'll see what happens today, guys. Taking a look to Trade the Pool. And don't forget, right? You can do your competition account also, guys. Take a look at the competition accounts. Sign up already, guys. If you're not already signed up, don't know what you're waiting for, because on Sunday, guess what? You're going to get locked out, and you're going to be mad at me on why you didn't get logged in to the competition, right? Well, here's that link, guys. Hit that competition. We'll see what happens. It's 9:30. 3 days, guys. 3 days. The Rule the Pool competition. You don't want to miss it out, guys. There's the market open. Let's see what I can do in Clean Spark today, guys. All right, Clean Spark opening up here right off the start here. I'm not going to let it go right back down there towards that 1690s break. I have a 30 out if I need to. I'm just looking to see if it can hold 17 here, make a run to 1720s. If it starts to crack 17 again, I'm probably just going to cut it here, because the truth is that you can go down towards, like, let's say 1670s and 1650s. I'm just looking to see if we can just take 17s here and just rip off. All right, looking good here now as we start to push here. I do have a stop that I can just let go at 1690s. I just want to see this pop through the 1720s, and then I can look for pullbacks to add. But you can see how the 17 just gets run into there. So you keep getting run into at the 1710. That's where we're not being able to push through. So I've got to continue to watch it here. It's already made that down towards 93. So if it cuts that, I definitely want out of it. I'm only risking about 21 right now, looking for this to make that nice little push. And then I'll look elsewhere, guys. If you guys see a big name or anything out there that you see trending, we'll definitely catch the action. You guys know it. Just remember, there's no peeing in the pool. No, there is no peeing in the pool, Wisdom. I'll tell you what, guys, we're all in the pool. The only question is who's leaving the pool. I'll tell you one thing, I'm ready. Getting after it today, guys. Run getting hit down fast. TQQQ down to 6460s. So we're definitely seeing some downside action in the market right now. We'll see what happens here. Here's some downside coming for Clean Spark. Just keeping a close eye on it here. Definitely not going to let it break through that 1690s here. There's that attempt now. We're getting some downside here. Let's see if it reverses back out of this. Gets back through 17. There's a 17 showing back up there, even on the bid. So at this point, I can drop that stop there. Now starting to see it go to 17. I'm going to go ahead and step up to the plate here, guys. Boom, just added there. Now up there towards the 1704s. Going to hold there towards the 1693 93 or 94s where we just come out of. Now I got 600 shares stepping up to the plate. Let's see what we got here. Come on, hold that 17 for me. Let's take the highs here now. Looking for that 1710s to show up there. There's 17s right back down. Be careful out there, traders. Things are shaking out here. Things are shaking. All right, guys, stepped up to the plate here, trying to get this to start moving here, risking about 50 bucks here. Run taking a sweep down, guys. So I do see that taking a sweep on the downside action. There's 1712s. Now we're looking decent here. Now can this start to really grind higher and push towards the 1720s? That's the next step that needs to happen here. Keeps fighting some resistance in the 1710s here. That's one thing that I'm definitely seeing. The 17s now need to start to hold here. So I'm setting the stop towards 1696 here. Really needs to take out the 1710s and go towards the 1720s. There's 1712s. Can I get the 1720s here to start to break? Big resistance above it, right? Starting to cut down. It still just doesn't want to get through that, right? And so with that being said, you got to be careful here. We'll see if this really starts to grind higher. Just looking for it to take out the 15-minute highs right there at the 1712s. If it takes it out, we could start getting that push here. 1707, really an important level to kind of close on the 5-minute basis. We got about 1 minute left here for it to close back above 1707. If not, I'll probably just get out here. Let's see what happens here, guys. 600 ready to get out if I need to here, guys. Hand on the trigger. I really don't want to see 17 break again here. There it goes towards the 1690s. Got to be careful here. Hands on the trigger to get out. If it doesn't recover here, going to go ahead and just click it out on the market. 1694 is so important here. Now we're starting to recover on the last 30 seconds of the 5-minute candle. Would really like to see this close towards the 17.7s. You can see how we're chopping around here, not really taking a big direction. And I think that that's where I got to be a little bit careful because I'm getting opened up a little bit too big, too fast here on a move that's not really making the breakout. So just keeping that in mind, right? Trying to learn, team. All right, back towards the 1705, 1703s. Let's see if we start to take it. Now I really don't want to see 17 breaks. 17 breaks, I'm just going to stop out. There's 1708. Let's start taking that 1710, that 1712. Let's go. Clean spark. See if we get it here. 1706, 1704. Struggling, man, on that 17s. Just there's like an endless supply there at the 1710s. It feels like that could be dark pulling. So I don't have my book map set up right now, but that seems to me like dark pulling that just doesn't want to let it through there. So a lot of selling through that. Just looking to see what happens here. Hand is on the trigger to get out. Just doesn't want to break that 17. Here comes back towards the 1690s, 1697s here. Just watching it, hands on the trigger to get out here, guys. I might take like a 50L here. That's probably what I'm risking at. If we could get this to really kind of lift off through that 1720s, I think we're looking good there for a run to 18. So that's why I'm in this, because I feel like a dollar risk, a dollar upside here is worth the risk here of what? 10, 15, 20 cents maybe? All right, 1708, now looking good. Clicking off of the sell. So looking for this to not to the break up towards the upside. Let's see if it takes it there. 1709 now. 1710s. Let's go. Let's get this. The next run here could take us towards 1740s and 1750s. So let's see if this can really start to push there through the 1713s and then run towards the 1740s is what I'm looking at here. All right, there's a nice little push here. Let's see if we can start to really drive here, getting up there into the 1730s. 1735, something like that. I'll be able to take some profits here. Now we're up above $100 and starting to really grind higher. Let's see if we can get to the 30s, and then I'll be able to take about half of it off there. Let's keep jumping. Let's go. Clean spark. Trying to make some money. All right, there it goes to the 28s. Can we get to the 30s? We'll see right now, guys. It's starting to push there. All right, 27s. Get into the 30s is what I'm looking at right now. Let's go. 1730 showing up on the offer here. All right, 1730 on the bid. Yes, let's fill here. All right, guys, just got some out there. Ooh. No, I didn't get some out there, man. Come on. Come on. You're telling me I didn't get that instant fill there? Oh, a little upset there. Normally I get a great fill here on Trade the Pool. That one, not a fill there at the 1730s. It just pulled right off of it. So I took the trade off of there. I'm just watching it right now. Still looking for this to make the move here. Definitely not going to let it go back through my entry, but just looking for this to kind of keep pushing here. Let's see if it can keep driving. So the VWAP play. VWAP plays a pullback now towards 1706. So, of course, we're going to talk about VWAP multiple times today, so I definitely want to mention that, but we'll see what happens there. Quartz to 12. There you go, Wisdom. Get that money, man. All right, guys. England. No, not in Detroit. Right now, I'm actually in Florida, guys. Florida, the good old Space Coast. So if you guys want to go see some launches, let me know. Wisdom, feels stupid to get out at 1050, but that's my rule. Hey, that's how it goes, man. Head and shoulders on the bottom of CUR on the 15th of the month. Swing it strong, baby. String it strong. Let's go, guys. Let's see what happens here in Clean Spark. Up close towards about $100 here. A little part of me is like, man, it's starting to get to the point where I want to take the money and run on this one. It was a nice little pop there, man. I really wanted that 1730 sell. It went to 1731. I had it on the bid there. Was a little slow on the bid when I put it out. And it was trying to ask me if I'd get the instant fill, if I was okay with that. I slowed down there. So here's that VWAP fill opportunity. There's where you would kind of size in there off the 1707s. So that's kind of a VWAP strategy. It's a known VWAP strategy. It went right towards my entry, 1704. Now would look to see if it takes that next layer towards the 1730. So a move right back up on a 1 minute bar back through that. We'll see what happens here as we're back towards 17. That's where I got to be careful because we could start to wipe out, right? I could add here, but I'm taking a huge shot if I do that. What I'm going to do is through 1730s, I can take the add. So if it just starts to grind higher, I'll take a nice little 200 share add and see what I can do. All right, guys, this is where you got to be careful because we are getting that quick pullback. Definitely. Oh, there it is, guys. That's the hard one there. You got to be a little bit careful. Hands on the trigger to get out here towards the 95s here. So still might lose on this position. That's where I get frustrated. That's where I'm not doing it right, guys. Should have been able to take that first half sell at 1730s. That's what I should have done there. Not doing it right here. Now starting to get back towards the 1690s. Hands on the trigger here to get out. There's the cutout. Lost $96. Not doing it right this morning, man. Frustrated on that one because I did put out the sell order. Just no fill at that 1730s. That's going to be a little bit upsetting this morning. I got to be honest, guys. I played that right. Got long. Got the 1730s. Should have been able to take out that half. Just not doing it right here today, guys. Little frustrated on that. I did it right there. Just not taking the profit at that 1730s. 1 penny off, and it just slipped down back towards the 1720s. No fill there, and now we're back to the 1680s. And I lost way too much on that, 96, when I should have lost 50. Frustrated, as you guys can tell, to start the day. Not the way to start the day, but I'm always going to keep it real with you guys. I should have had that 1730s. That's a little frustrating right there. Oh, man. What a day, what a day, what a day. What a start to the day, I'll tell you that much. That one is, I mean, I had it. It was pretty good on there. But, hey, is what it is. Should have been able to take that profit on that one. C-Max getting a little bit of a move here. We'll look to see if that can keep moving. That's up there towards the 8s. We'll see if that keeps pushing. WINT struggling here. Pulled back there from that $9. It got all the way up there to 9. It's back to the VWAP. We'll look to see if this makes a move back towards the upside. CUR up there towards 11. Can they make it to 12 today? We'll find out. Still holding in right now on the 9 EMA pullback. Right there off the 1110s. Just pulled back to the 11. There's 1132s. I'm in on the wrong one. Wisdom. You gave me the wisdom. I just didn't take the trade there. And Clean Spark coming right back to the 1680s. We'll look to see if it recovers 17 now. But man, really frustrating out the gates today for me on that one. Pfizer doing well there. I've talked about this one, looking for this one to continue. It's been on the playbook multiple times now, guys. So this is one that I'm going to go and take a swing trade in. I need to take a moment right now, guys. So I'm going to take a swing trade in Pfizer, and I'm going to actually go big on this, guys, because I think it could hold the $30 spot. So I'm going to try to go big on this and seeing how it can move here today. So let's see if I can go 200 shares. All right, just grab 200 shares. Going to look to add 200 shares back at the 30, but really want to take this a little bit bigger too. Pullbacks to the 30-23s is another layer that I could look at. 30-23s. All right, well, I'll look for a pullback there on that Pfizer. Taking the swing trade on this. I already got a nice little $600 cushion, so willing to take a shot on this one. We'll see what happens there. Swing trade on Pfizer. Oof, that was a little frustrating start there with the Clean Spark, but I just got to shake it, man, because look at that. Clean Spark coming right back. So they could have came and just hunted me. Now it takes the VWAP. Now it starts to make the move again. So I could take the trade again off the VWAP. That's what I need to do here if I want to take the shot. Now it's starting to rip, so now it's kind of hard. I'm chasing here. So now I need the pullback to come back here towards the VWAP. Might not get that pullback. It might just launch off here. A little frustrated right now, guys, to say the least, man. Clean Spark, a nice trade there. If I would have took the half, I could take this trade again. So just frustrated on my execution today, guys. This is one that I should be in. This is one that I feel is a nice trade today. Should be able to tackle this and just not trading it right, man. Frustrating to say the least. That one. Not one that I'm going to be happy about in the end, because just not playing it right. All right, let's see what else is out there, guys. TQQ coming back there. We'll look to see if that starts to make a little bit of an up move and starts to push here. CREV, that went down to 925, so that one definitely not hanging on there. CMAX, one that was hanging on. We'll look to see what happens there. But boy, oh boy, what a start to the day. Let's keep getting after it, team. It's live trading here. Gotta shake it this morning, because definitely, man, that was a little frustrating execution there on Clean Spark. And Clean Spark looks like it's about to take 1720s and just rip. And it's just going to be one of those that I'll look back and just be frustrated on. But hey, it is what it is. I'll look to see if I get a pullback back to the VWAP, which is 1705s. That's the only way I can come after this, if it comes back to the VWAP here. I can't play high a day breaks. That's not what I do here. So this is that trade right there. I'm probably going to miss this now and definitely going to look back and just be frustrated. Mara is another way that I could play this. I could look at different names if I wanted to, Riot, things like that. They all did that move, the same fake out to the downside, so they look good. Coin looking good also. Hood looking good also. I mean, they're all looking good here. I'm just not playing it right here on this Bitcoin move, even though I was watching it for this morning. We'll look to see what happens if I can get some type of pullback, but little frustrated to say the least, guys. Ether pulling back there towards that 1032. We'll look to see if this starts to make a move today. ETHU, the Ethereum ETFs, I definitely keep your eyes open to see if those start to make a move today. They definitely could push, so we'll keep an eye on to see what happens to those. Investicos, Ethereum ETF. There's a lot of these that could make the move today. Keep your eyes open for them. All right, man, I'm just gonna have to leave that trade alone because it's just gonna frustrate me all day. So hey, you guys see it. I get frustrated too, guys. I'm gonna go looking at the industries and what sectors are doing well. Of course, Cat's at the hat, guys. Recovering that 350, doing pretty well. Now starting to push. Daily chart looking good. You start to recover that 350 now. So that's actually looking pretty good here. There's another one that I wanted to take a look at today for maybe potentially a move in a name that I don't trade often, CNH. So let's go looking at that. At least that's something else that maybe I could take a trade on that was a morning kind of setup. Going to look to see if this can really push back towards, let's say, 11s. It's really not a trade name that I know too often, CNH, but you're holding in some pullbacks on the 5-minute, pretty tight spread. So that's what helps also here. We'll see what happens. Going to take a little bit of a bigger position on this because it's a smaller name. Should be going smaller earlier. But man, this is one of those days where part of me just, you see, I'm even feeling the revenge trade right now. I'm like, 1,000 shares, let's go. I gotta calm it down, man. Frustrated, but I'm always gonna tell you guys the way it is, man. That's the way it is, guys. Waiting to short serve. Ooh, you're savage, man. Savage. Oil dip, time to buy. Yeah, energy is starting to get a lift today, guys. I feel like energy is starting to push there. That was on the alert earlier this week for XLE. XLE is starting to climb back. We'll look to see if it can climb back, hold this 92 and really push higher. Not a bad look there off that 92. Just recovered that 91.8. So XLE, let's see if we can maybe just jump on this bad boy. Doesn't look too bad right now. I can go about this towards maybe even a couple hundred shares there. So let's go ahead. Let me see if I can grab this here before it takes off through that 92. But man, I'm being slow. So you know how it is. It's already at 92 now. Could take 92 and then look for 91.90s and 91.80s on the pullback. I'm just looking for a slight dip below the 92s, but I have a feeling I'm going to miss it now. This is a lot of buying pressure, a lot of buying that could have came in on this, right? So a lot of sizing could have filled in there, and then now it starts to just grind higher. So looking for some kind of pullback here. The VWAP did recover. So you recovered the VWAP, you pushed above the VWAP. I would love to see a pullback near the VWAP. Especially pulling back, let's say, to the 9 EMA, 91.85, 91.75s. That's what I'm looking for on XLE right now. It's already at 92.08, just being slow right now. It's one of those days, guys, just not feeling it after that clean spark trade, and it's just affecting my mentality too much. And so that happens, traders. Now I just got to take it easy, be smart. Maybe take one good trade, get back into the green, and then maybe call it quits, maybe, because today's one of those days where I'm just frustrated and missing trades, right? First Solar is one that I'm looking at for Solar to get hot again. That's what I'd be watching. First Solar is one that I definitely keep a radar on, and it's already kind of getting that push there. It's 223s. We'll look to see if it starts to push here. One thing I can clearly see, though, is that you do got technology in the red. Look to see if this goes green. I'll continue to watch that. Another thing that I wanted to kind of start to keep a watch on is change from the open and change from the open hourly. So I'm going to add that here so that I can kind of focus on that. This is something that I'm starting to test on. So I'll put this one on the hourly. And the big thing is what's doing good for just the hour. And so that's something that I try to look at too, because you could see a flip on what's happening. So like, let's say technology, it's down 0.78 from the open, but only down 0.36 in the hourly candle. So that just tells me that that's flipping. So healthcare is flipping too. Healthcare is on the flip. And so we saw some of these do well today. Bristol Myers, right, was one that had earnings, still continuing to make a nice little up move. And I saw NVO had some news that's starting to make a move back here. And of course, Pfizer was one that I took the swing trade on. We'll look to see if Pfizer can continue moving. Johnson & Johnson, I heard, was one of the ones that was mentioned earlier in the week by our chat. And Johnson & Johnson staying strong today. Nice little move there. Trying to break the 161. We'll look to see if it gets there. Financial services is strong right now. Goldman Sachs back there closer towards that 500. Could see this one fade right back down, right? XLF, the hourly rejection, right? Was looking for this hourly rejection into the 43.32 spot. We're almost there. So might take the short on this now on XLF and look to see if I can add through that 43.30s. So let's go ahead. I'm going to set up for that one. 92s is coming back there for XLE. So I would get the opportunity on that XLE. I'm looking for the XLF short. Let's see what happens here. All right. Just trying to go towards a shorter time frame here. See how that's that action is happening right now. We've had 1, 2, 3, looking for that fourth drive here to get us there. Let's see if we can get up towards the 43.30s, and then I can start to short. And this is an hourly look that could go towards a high there towards like 43.40s. So somewhere in between, let's say the 30s towards the 40s is really where I want to get short. Don't mind getting a starter here, but really trying to get towards the 30s. What's up out there, guys? Got that pinky out, my man? Hey, take that money, man. What's up out there, traders? How we doing? What are you guys taking a look at? Where's the small names? Costs, great, Scott. We'll take a look at that and take a look at the cost chart. All right, let's see if I can get this to start there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put 100 at 43.30s, trying to get it to hit there first, and then I can start to size in. Really want to get big on this eventually towards the end of the day. Just needed to pop back through that 30s. It was just up there just recently on this pop here. It went to 43.29, so got the order there at 43.30s. Then I'll add at 43.40s. I'll add towards 43.50 if I need to. And then as it starts to come back, especially through like this 43.20s or the VWAP 43.16, that's when I'm going to go heavy on it. Serve, man, serve. It's up there towards 12, 13s. Rejected that 13 move, but man, this thing is still hot, guys. On the daily chart, it's kind of doing that inside day. Be careful out there, guys. Cost is really not moving. I think I need to see it take 10 first. Great, Scott. The trade is there for the VWAP, right? We talk about VWAP trades. We're talking about that today. Let's go to the 1 minute to kind of make it a little bit bigger here. But you can see how the volume is just kind of low here. There's not insane volume in costs, and costs moved when it had insane volume. But the VWAP, when you get a big breakout above and then a pullback to the VWAP, this is a slight move underneath the VWAP, so I don't really like it as much as some that kind of hold the VWAP. There's Clean Spark now to 1740s, and boy, oh boy, did I screw up the trade today on Clean Spark. It was on the playbook, man. Playbook. It was a good outlook on the playbook, bad outlook in the trade action on execution. This is how you can know a good trade and still mess it up. Mess up that Clean Spark for sure, man. Oh, man, this one's going to be frustrating. Up there towards 1750s. This looks like it wants to run to 18, 19. I mean, it's a big opportunity there. And I could still look at this one, but I got to go looking at somewhere else, man, because if I go and I take this trade and then lose on that again, that's just going to frustrate me beyond that, right? So it is what it is, guys. Big players played you out on Clean Spark. I mean, to tell you the truth, I should have just took that first profit. If I would have taken that first profit, when I take that move back down and I could stop out, break even, or even if I do lose, I lose like 20 bucks, but I made 60 or 70. So I'm still in the green and I can take the trade back. Where I got frustrated is that I didn't get that fill. It came back and then just washed me. So, hey, it is what it is, guys. I had the perfect trade on there. That was the trade to make the day. That would have started a nice little $300 winner or something like that. So, hey, it is what it is. Can't be too upset about that. Just got to keep moving, man, and we'll see what happens. It was a good trade outlook, just bad execution on my part there. All right, let's see. We'll keep moving, guys. I'll start taking another trade out there. XLF not hitting my 643.30, so it could start to just turn around here. A little part of me is just trying to be patient and let it get towards that 43.30s first, because I think that the trade is more for a later in the day trade. Cat still doing well. We'll look for pullbacks maybe down towards 349 and maybe take a shot on that one. But CMAX, another one that was moving earlier, that's already starting to pull back towards the 7. How'd Zap do? Zap just hanging off of that 995s. I feel like this one eventually can come down and really crack. But boy, oh boy, does this one seem like it just wants to hang on. We'll see what happens there. There's the XLF, probably going to get that first fill here. Let's see if I can get that first fill. Just a penny away here, guys, and then I'll start to try to add some more towards the 43.40s. As it starts to go higher, I can start to size in. No fill there, guys. The no fill game today is going hard, guys. All right, we'll see what happens. I'm going to put it up a little bit further because I want to go take a look at another stock that's making a rip, guys. VKTX. VKTX ripping right back up there, guys. Now going towards the 69.50s. And boy, oh boy, did this stock make a big move yesterday. This thing was just ripping and ripping. So we'll see what happens. VKTX, big move there. Trying to take yesterday's high of the 69 towards the 71. We'll look to see if that keeps pushing, but this thing's an absolute monster today. And let's see if it did the VWAP move. Yeah, pull back right to the VWAP and then push right off of that. We'll look to see if 69 holds on pullback and it takes 70. All right, looking around to see what other ones are making a move on the day. If you guys got a name you guys want to take a look at, let me know out there, guys. Big turnaround there on the XLF, right off that 43.28. So maybe I'm being a little picky and maybe I got to chase it a little bit. That's where it gets hard, right? Do I jump into XLF at the 20s here? I still had the 30s, so I'm still looking for this to come back into the 30s. We'll look to see what happens on XLF. JPM also kind of topping out there. Goldman Sachs up there towards 501, 501.50s. Also could see this fade away towards the end of the day. We'll see what happens. All right, looking at Run as it did come back there. It came right back towards the 18. Fisker, not Fisker, First Solar up there towards the 226. So good outlook on a lot of stocks today, just not capitalizing here on the trades. I'm just not taking the trades after Clean Spark. It's just put me on like kind of pause, but man, oh man, this had some good trade outlook today, just not taking it. Run on the pullback to the VWAP, that's 1770s. That doesn't look too bad there. We'll look to see if that does do a little bit of a VWAP test here. Test down towards the 1770s, towards the 1750s would be that shot there for Run to keep pushing. It is holding on the pullback. It needs to kind of break out above the 18s here. You just stopped at that 18. We'll look to see if it reloads on the VWAP. So there's Run. We'll look to see what happens there if we can get that little dip, but that did do a nice little push. Run. TQQQ coming back here, guys. So that could maybe start to push there. TQQQ trying to recover now. Held the 64s. You can see a lot of resistance here. Let's see if it fakes down or does it make the move up here. It looks like it's trying to break back towards the upside here. It's 10 o'clock, so keep your eyes open, guys, to see if we start to see a swing in the market. All right, looking around, trying to find some other trades, seeing what's making a move out there. I'm not saying too much out there. And some of these smaller ones, the smaller ones aren't moving too much. I see Humana moving there. BTBT, of course, all the crypto names doing well. It was a good outlook, but bad execution on my part for sure. Run, getting back there. We'll see if this one can get towards the VWAP here. Let's go ahead. I'll take a shot on this. Let's see if we can get it back to the VWAP. It still hasn't hit the VWAP though. That's the only problem. 1771s is the VWAP. We went to a low there of 75s. I'm still looking to see it hit to the VWAP here, but it might not even touch it. It might just hold off of it and then start to come back up. I'm leaving that off there. I still want to see that pull back towards, let's say, 1770s, 1760s. We'll look to see what happens there in Run. Just off the VWAP there. So could have got some buyers that already step up there, especially as the TQQQ recovers 65. Excel was one I was playing yesterday, of course, into the kind of the utilities play. So this one's still holding the 1 hour pullback. Talk about 1 hour pullbacks all the time. Could make a run to 58 today. Not a bad one that I'm watching off the support on the 5 minute, but also Nextera Energy, right? Was one that I was trading earlier in the week. Did do a nice little pullback. Could go right back up there to the 75s today. Makes sense on this one, guys, and NEE to make the move. Kind of like it here on the pullback. Right below the VWAP. This is that third attempt here on the VWAP. So I look for that 1, 2. Want to look for one more attempt to come to the 74.40s, and it fails there. So give me one look to where it comes down here. doesn't break the 74.40s, and then makes that breakout to the upside. We'll see what happens there on NEE. Run, not going back there towards the VWAP just yet. So I'll wait to get to that VWAP, and then I can take the shot there. Clean Spark, I don't even want to look at you no more, man. I'm taking you off my watch list. Oh, man. Remove the selected symbol. Yes, get it out of here. I don't even want to see it no more. It's just ripping, guys. It's like 1760s now. Good Lord, Clean Spark. All right, guys, what's up out there, guys? What do you guys like? TQQQ time? Yeah. Oh, Meds is moving. All right. In the competition, can you use leverage ETFs for market leaders like Tesla, SPX, TQQQ? If it's the long only or the short only, yeah, I think you definitely can use those, right? So if it's long only, of course, let's say you wanted to short the market, you essentially could use, right, like the SQQQ, because you're still going long. The key is the side of the trade. And on those, yeah, you'll be able to trade that. There's XLF giving me that first entry there, guys. So I finally got at least a first entry on one of those names. We'll see what happens out there in some other stocks here. Still looking at NEE, still trying to make that undercut there. Doesn't look too bad right now. If I did go after this one, I have to go after it with a little bit more sizing. It's only about like a 40 or 50 cent upside. So you got to keep that in mind. Next layer on the support is also something that I always like to keep in mind. Where's the retracement could go to? I could see an undercut 74.25s. So we'll keep that in mind. XLF, though, giving me that first entry at the 43.30s, looking for the next entry towards the 43.40s. So I'm going to go ahead and just start trying to size in here on this move. So XLF, let's do another 100. And I'm going to do 40. Let's do 42, giving myself a little bit more room. 10 cents higher. All right, we'll see if it gets up there towards that level. Seeing a lot of volume here in the 38s, from 34 to 39. So the next layer from there, I don't see it at 42. So it could go up towards 50s as I start to see where the volume is on the level 2. So it could still move up there towards the 50s. So I'm going to move it up there towards the 50 on the second ad. And then I'll keep trying to size in on this XLF as I start to work it. All right, going back there to NEE, still holding in there. Now it's trying to make the move there. TQQQ made a fake out attempt to the upside and then a move back down. We'll look to see if it actually creates that and holds it. XLE is working well, just pushed towards 57.40s. So I am looking to start a starter here in NEE. All right, guys, I'm going to go for 100 right off the start here and definitely trying to start slow. So, hey, I'll go 50 shares, trying to help myself and following the kind of the strategy that I've talked about, right? Taking it easy, then trying to take the approach there. Still looking for the 40s pullback. Can always just jump on and size up as we start to break through the VWAP 74.60. Made a great trade on 200 shares of this last time. It made like a move to 75 and 76. So keeping that in mind, and we'll look to see if I get the pullback to add towards the 74s and 74.45 and 74.40s. All right, let me go ahead and get that ready here. 74.40s, got 50 shares there. We'll look to start to size in, and then we'll take the shot as it comes back through 74.60. TQQQ starting to come right back down there, guys. So doesn't look good there, guys. XLF starting to turn around off that 34s and 30s. So can start to size in a little bit more on that XLF, especially if I keep seeing the kind of the rejection level off that hourly. All right, going to look for that push there again. The TQQQ is something to keep an eye open for. It did do that fake out to the 65. Run did not hit that VWAP. That's something to note. It did not hit that VWAP. So just going to keep an eye on it. Right now, XLF holding the 9. Just keeping a watch on that. NEE coming back towards that 40. Just gave me that next fill there. So about to get some more Glad I didn't go too big, too fast on NEE. It is pulling back right now. Next layer of supports towards the 24s. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get some more here as they're getting towards that 24s. Looking for a slight dip there. There's the 28s, 29s. I'll take a little bit more there. Just took a little bit more there at the 28 spot there. Now I got 150, 74, 40s. Looking good there on the average. Now I just want to see it recover my average, and then it could start to add more and more, and then holding off that 74, 20s. XLF starting to go in the green there for me. If I only get 100 shares, I only get 100 shares. Not going to be upset. Just looking for it to get up there into the 43.40 spot. Then maybe I can add to it. RGC, let's go. Get it, man. Nail. Yeah, I mean, I don't even want to talk about Clean Spark, man. That was definitely a trade that I've nailed before. It's coming back at least towards the 1740s, but we'll see what happens there. NEE is trying to recover the 1741 now. The exact move that I was looking for now should kind of take off and kind of hold that in, right? So I got in 1, 2, 3 attempts underneath the VWAP. Now I wanted to recover VWAP and hold on any pullback. There's the first start. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and add like 100 shares as we start to reclaim and starting to get above my entries. I'm in the green, 1746, 250 shares. If we get to 1760s, I can add another 100 shares. Really starting to take a shot on this. So pull back there towards my entry here. I don't mind even getting an ad at like, let's say maybe 45s. There it is. It's 46. Looking for that slight tick down. There you go. Just added a little bit more now. Now I just got to go ahead and start to manage it here. So now I'm back towards 1745 with 350s. So at least understanding that I'm getting down there and trying to manage that entry, getting that entry towards the bottom of the range is so important. Now I just got to understand where the risk is, right? For me, it's going to be towards that 74.20s. Really wouldn't want to see that break. So could get an attempt down towards the 24s. Just got to keep understanding that that's kind of that downside action here. So 350. Just keeping it ready to get out if I need to. Move back through 74.60s. And I'll take a bigger shot for the win. We'll see what happens here, guys. Giving that attempt towards the support here. TQQQ is trying to come back. Excel rejected that breakout of the 57.40, so that's not a good look there, but we'll see what happens. Utility name right back down on that one. XEL, I'll show you guys that. This was looking like it was about to break towards the upside and then a quick sweep down. NEE with a quick sweep down towards the 24s. Let's see what happens here. It's right off of that level where I got to get out. Just watching for it to see if we can hold here that 74.20s pullback. Comes back through 74.60s. I'm looking good, but if not, I'm just going to get out here at the 74.20s. There's that cut down trying to cut me out here. Let's see if I get out. Bid was right there. There's 19 showing up there. Trying. Going to see if this can close back up on the 1 minute. It's testing down. 5 minute. You can see the support right underneath it here towards this 23s. Looking to see if we can recover because it could kind of hold here off this 74.20, 74.19 area. Needs to start recovering here, back up. If not, I'm going to get out. All right, what's up out there, guys? RGC halted again. I'll take a look at that one in just a second here. Let me try to get that up. RGC. Ooh, 1747. What a move, man. What a move. Did you nail that one, Great Scott? Let's go, man. That thing is beyond popping. Holy moly. What is up with these biotechs lately? Crazy, crazy move there. NEE undercutting there. Guys, about to get stopped out there. I'm just going to go ahead and set a stop here. Getting that dip already, guys. 117 here for the stop out. 74.10s. If that hits, I'm out. I put the stop already out there, guys. I'm still in right now. There you go. Got triggered there. Man, what a day today, guys. I was close to being up 300. Now I'm down 259. It has been a tough one today. I've had such a great week that I don't want to ruin it. That's the other thing, too. I don't want to push too much and then just ruin my good week. So, hey, one more strike and I'm out. But XLF is one that I'll keep trying to work and work. That's what's been doing me well, especially later in the day, making some cash. So we'll see what happens on this one. But boy, oh boy, is it a tough one right now. Serve, will this one make a move up today? I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe this is the one that makes another move up today in the penny world. WINT, that 722 one. WINT not doing much now. RGC, what a move there. It's reopened. It's back down towards the 1740s, was up there towards 19s. This thing has a crazy spread, though. Holy moly, is this spread wide. This thing spreads by 50 cents, 60, 80, 90. Oh, man. What a spread there, guys. So this one's just really hard to buy because of the spread. You still get those pops-ups, but, man, it's difficult for sure. That RGC struggling up here. And then what is this, the third halt? Yeah, this is the third halt. One, two, three. Oh, the fourth halt. Ooh, a lot of times you get that down action after the fourth halt. Go for a down fourth halt. Let's see if it goes for an up fifth halt. I don't know, man. I can't take the trade on this. This is easily how I just lose the last little bit of cash that I have for the day. And then I'm really frustrated on RGC. So I'm going to leave this one alone. But I wish you guys the best out there, guys. Definitely a tough day for me today, guys. Just got to keep battling in there. Yeah, I'm in at 13. Yeah, at 13. Yeah, then maybe I can hold on. But here at 17 playing it would be a pretty tough one. We'll look to see if it does get that down halt there. There's that cut down towards the 17s. 9 EMA still holding. Talked about that 9 EMA on the 1 minute for penny names, how important that is. So the undercut there is an important outlook. Let's see if it can hold that 17 and then really break out to the 19s. There's that undercut trying to cut that, but look where the offer is, 1720s. Look to see if that offer stays above 17. That offer can stay above 17. It still looks good for the recovery. Let's see what happens here. It's getting closer. 1746. You can see 1730s on the offer. 1725, 1710s, 17s right there. So let's see if that holds and then it starts to recover there. There's that recovery back to 1760s. So if I want to take the shot there, that's the move right there off that 17. I could do like 50 shares just here, just to kind of play it and just to kind of do the example here since I'm already talking about it. Might take that trade there. You can see I'm talking myself into the trade too. 17 is that entry there. It'd be right there off like right now, 1701 clicks there. You get in at 17. You'll look for the breakout above back towards the 19, but you got to know that the risk is easily a 16 dump. There's a 16 dump. There's a 17 undercut. Now you get that 16 dump towards the 1630s, which is hard to hold on, right? Like who's holding 70-cent risk there? Not too many traders, guys. We'll see what happens here on this RGC. Thing is giving me a heart attack just looking at it. WINT, we'll see what happens on that one. Did halt recently on the downside action. Serve is trying to start coming back here, guys. We'll see what happens. Does Serve make the move to the upside today? All right, guys, I played serve to the downside plenty of times here. Let's see what happens when I play serve to the upside action here today, because the VWAP is rejecting multiple times. This is the third VWAP rejection, so it could either be that breakdown or that breakout. And I think that right now we're about to get the kind of the action here on serve. So let's pay attention to it. Let's look at it on a 5-minute basis, see if it picks a direction first, and then I can maybe play that. So there's that right there. There's the undercut right here. So you can see how it's stuck in between this. What's it going to choose? The 13 breakout or the 11.25 takedown? We'll find out, guys. Serve. TQQQ is still kind of hanging out there. I think it still could recover. Still looks like it wants to recover. ETHU starting to get the lift there. Going to the 1060s. Ethereum, not a bad one to keep a watch on, right? We'll see if this can climb back to 11 today. You can see it maybe getting towards 11. That's 50 cents higher. Gold. I love gold. We pulled back here on gold. Let's see if we start to get strong again. Gonna break through 18 today. This is off the VWAP. Doesn't look too bad there, guys. We did get a fake out at the gates here. Now we're trying to recover VWAP on gold. Let's do a little VWAP trade on gold. I love gold. All right, guys, gonna hold off the VWAP on this gold trade, but it just got back above. You did do this bullish engulfing look on the 1 minute, so you'd like to hold that 1 minute here, not break through that low of the 1783s. Gets back up there towards the 20 spot, right? And so that's what makes sense, like kind of the whole dollar. But you can see how you have resistance right there at the 18. You need to recover 18 to really start to work your way back. Let's see if that happens here. If it can hold this pullback at the VWAP and then take 18. Gold on the pullback, man. Let's see what happens there. All right, guys, let's see if I can, let's risk $100 on this. See if we can start making its way back. Gold loves to make these quick moves down and then quick moves back. So just taking a look at it to see if we can get that strength to move back. All right, take a starter there, 500 shares long on gold, looking to see if this can recover back there towards the 18 today. Of course, did that undercut, now starting to try to come back there. Big cut would be a move towards 18. And of course, that'd be about 20 cents higher, about $100 on the plus side just for the 18. Look to see if this starts to push back through here, get towards the 17.95, and then starts to push back into the 18s. XLF, still just kind of chomping around out there. Didn't get towards the 43.40s, but could still make that move at any moment here. RGC back towards 15.69 and on the halt. So maybe should have taken that short, but man, it's so hard to take that short on that. I'll tell you that. It definitely is. Serve, trying to make that move back to the upside here. Just did a little down dip here. Let's see if it takes the up move through the 1250. Serve, there's the 1260s here. Should we take it, guys? Should we take the shot? Where's the volume in on serve? 1270s is where it starts to get hot. Let's see what happens here on serve. See if it wants to take the move here. And the hourly, you did pull back. Could go right back to 14 here. There's 1264s. It's trying to hold that 1250s. There's that pullback to 1250s. TQQQ coming back a little bit there. A little part of me feels like maybe playing this right here. This TQQQ has been chomping. Now it could start to recover and then start to drive higher towards the end of the day. Serve, trying to recover that 1260. We'll look to see if that recovers. What do you guys feel on serve today, huh? I love gold. Out RGC, take that money, man. Take that money. We'll see. We'll see what happens on gold, man. There's serve. 1270s. It's there, guys. Do I take it? Do I take it? All right, let's see if I can take it a little bit here. All right, guys, I took 50 shares there just to take the small amount. I'm looking for the quick pullback back towards the 1250s to really take the size there. There's 1280s already starting to get the move there. It could pop through the 13s here. Gold pulling back to the 85s. Got to keep a watch on that. Serve hanging in there, getting some volume now. Now the volume's starting to pick up. That's a good sign there. Looking for some pullbacks to get in this and kind of size in. Could just take 13 here. There's a good amount of size there, right there at the 1298s, 1299, 13s. Let's see if we get it through there. There's 25,000 shares there sitting at the 13s. There's the pullback off of that. Looking for ads down below my entry, 71 there. Just got one more entry there. Looking for the 60s to show up or the 50s to add some more. There's 80s back. Looking to see if this could break the 13 today. There's back to the 85s. Let's see if we can really kind of take this going through. I added there, I got 1278s. Back towards the 1280s here. I want to see if that same size is there at the 13s again. That's going to be very important to look for. All right, what's up out there, traders? What are you guys looking at? Not seeing much, man. I thought this would just go. So going to give it a chance here for that 13 break. There it goes for the setup. There's 1295s. That same wall there is at 13. All right, stepping up to the plate with the share size I see at 95s. I'm stepping up here, guys. Got about 550s. Let's see if we get a quick little breakout. If not, I just got to get out of this. Trying to step up here, trying to get that nice little move through that 550. I saw that share size jump on the bid. Now it's back down into the 80s. Definitely putting the pressure on me. Might get me out here. Hands on the trigger to get out below the 80s. If it does pop through that 13s, then I can start making a good gain here. But trying to take a shot here, guys. Let's see it. There's the 13s showing up on the offer. 1305s. Starting to reject that move, though. Got above the 13s. Didn't really give me a big breakout there. Only went to 1310s. I'm looking for a little push higher there. See if we can get this push. If not, just going to sell it all out. It's coming back towards my entry. Didn't get that real breakout through the 13. Kind of failing at that 13. Hands on the trigger to get out. This could be a quick dip here, guys. Took my shot, but man, should have broke through that 13 and continued. It just didn't. Look, let's see if I can get that move. There's 1306, 1308, 1318s there, 1320s. Come on, get it through that. 1307s now. Looking for that real pop here. Let's go. Let's go. Man, it just keeps running into sellers. It just keeps running into sellers, man. Got to be careful for that dip back below 13s. Looking for it to get that push there through that high now. Let's go. Go through that 1320s. Let's get back to 14. There's 1320 starting to show up there. All right, trying to sell some out at 25s there. Just got some out there, guys. Took out 250. All right, 1330 starting to show up here. Still got 300 shares here. There's 40s. Not looking too bad here, guys. Going to sell a little bit more here. 1355s just sold some more there, guys. Sold about 150 there. There's 1360s. There's 1368s. 69s. All right, taking it and running, baby. Let's go. Back to the green. Let's go. Let's go, team. Let's go. Battles on. Battles on. Taking it back, guys. Taking it back. Was down close to 300. Said, you know what? Let's get back to the green, guys. Let's get back to the green. We can always battle some more, man. But one thing we can't do is give up the battle, right? So in this point, I can keep trying to chase that, but I'm pressuring myself a little bit too much here. And I could go into the red because of gold. So I'm just kind of keeping a close eye on that GLLD because I am down about 37 on that right now. So kind of watching that 80 spot right now because we should hold off of that 80 spot. Cracking that 80 spot, it's a 77 breakdown. And definitely got to be careful for that. That's like a $65 loss right now. So watching that to see what happens here. If gold can start to recover. If it doesn't, I'll just get out on that 77 outlook. But hey, not a bad one there in serve. Can continue to watch it, right? But it could just pull back off of that. And if I get greedy there and don't take the money on close to that 14 breakout, that's really how I just ruin it there. But not a bad trade there. It was a battle. Shane, you saw it, man. I know you probably enjoyed seeing that one. Got some more short at 1360, Leon. Hey, get after it, man. I made money on serve on the short long on the short overnight. Now I'm making it on the long side. Sometimes you just got to kind of flip there, right? But not a bad trade there at all. Was able to take some profits there along the way. And I think that was the important part. So you guys can see it here. I took profits at the 27, the 55, and the 60. So can't be really mad about that. Could this have kept going? Yes, it could keep going. But on a day where I'm red, I can't keep pushing. On a day that I was green, I could have just left those last 150 shares for the big breakout above the 14. Run going down fast there, guys. Just want to mention that. So the market is still chomping around, guys. The chop continues. The TQQQ made it back to 65.20s, now starting to fade off of that. So just be careful out there, guys. The chop is pretty tough. Run back down below to the 1750s. So run, that VWAP move didn't work, and it's back down. So be careful out there, guys. A lot of shake in the market right now. Serve trying to go back up towards that move. We'll look to see what happens there. Still watching gold. That's what I'm just focusing on right now. There's serve trying to get through that 1380s. There's 10,000 shares waiting there at that 1380s. Could keep going through towards the 14s here. We'll see if it takes the next leg up, but I'm all out, guys. I did want to mention that. Look at that 1380s. Will it get through the 14s? Keep that on the watch. It's definitely moving out there. GOLD. We'll see what happens with this one. VKTX. VKTX, one that I'll talk about because it's at the VWAP. We'll look to see if a VWAP bounces or does it start to fail here. There's an interesting pattern. There's both ways to trade it. There's fails and there's longs here. We'll see what happens. It did do 1, 2, 3, 4 times to try to hold the VWAP. A lot of times when I see that, that looks to me like a short because you've hit it 1, 2, 3, 4 times and then it fails that. And then it starts to drop through the 67. But just mentioning that, we'll see what happens here on VKTX. There's about, 3 attempts to break out on this trend line. Let's see if it gets to the 4th attempt and fails, the 68.10s, and then a real hard fail back down through 67. There's serve going for the 14. It's up to 1397. I'm leaving that one alone, but there's 14 just triggering right there. And it stopped. It halted, man. There's some dark pulling action on this serve. This is when I wish I had a Bookmap opened. I need to use Bookmap a little more, but got to bring on my man, Rocco. Rocco, I know you're listening out there. Get that money, my friend. Come back. Let's do a little Bookmap lesson next week. What do you guys think? Take a look a little bit more into the dark pull. Mitch the Jedi. The Jedi. The dark side is out there. You guys got to be careful. All right, trying to long on Tesla with TSLL. Okay. Well, here's gold to try to stop me out here. I'm going to give it about 1 penny from this, but other than that, really close to stopping out in gold. I love gold. Needs a hold here. You're going back towards hourly support, which could be that 1771 breakdown, and definitely don't want to hold there for that. Looking to see if I get a 5-minute recovery now, which is a kind of a wick here, but a 5-minute that recovers back through the 1780s. TQQQ heading down and heading down fast there, guys. So TQQQ back down tells me that maybe the Qs are going to break here to the downside. We'll see what happens. If the Qs do break, what could come down here? I'm watching like XLF to start to turn around. Technology names, I will be watching for those to turn back to the downside. XLF didn't get that another ad into the 4350s, but starting to go ahead and try to get another ad there. Still watching that gold. It's starting to cut down there. Got to be careful with it because it could be a quick cut while I'm not paying attention. And there you guys see it trying to cut there. So just got to keep watch on this here. It's 1776, pretty much 74s, and I'm freaking gone, guys. So I don't want to push too much right now, especially as I just made myself back towards close to break even. Got to keep myself in some kind of reach for the top, right? All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just set a stop here. Normally, I wouldn't put it out there, but I want to try to get some more into XLF, which is a trade that I really feel I can make a big gain on. So right here, going to set the stop. I might get stop hunted as soon as I place it. We'll see. Placing it there at the 73, that might get me to where they come and get me, but we'll find out here. All right, looking at XLF now. I want to go focus on this trade because this was one of my top trades of the day. Now I can start stepping up another 100 shares and really could step up a good amount here. As it starts to kind of bounce there, I will add anything back up towards 46 and 50s. I'm adding anything cracks back below 43.20s, and I'm going big on this. I've been looking to nail these down. Another way to look at this could be going at Goldman Sachs, right? I talked about that. So I might just share my position size with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at that trade also because Goldman Sachs loves to just fade down fast. Rejected the 500 here, has been up there 1, 2, 3 times, and then the 4th time it rejected. Now I'm going to look for it to maybe make a slight move back, but then fail that, which is towards 500, 525. So I'm going to start setting up some shorts there and try to set this up for a little bounce short. So 500 would be the first entry. 530. Then I'm going to do 580 on the last one. That's 60 shares of Goldman Sachs if I get it filled. There's the stop out there in gold. Kind of had that feeling I'd get it there. Just slightly down now on the day, 65. That leaves me just focusing on XLF and Goldman Sachs here. If it comes back, I'm getting these fills on Goldman Sachs. If it doesn't, hey, well, so be it, man. XLF will be the one that I'll try to make the money on, and gonna look at that VKTX because I feel like it might fail here and then come right back down. It is holding in the VWAP. Let's see if it fails there and then comes right back down. This is a VWAP attempt move. So you now recovered the VWAP. Does it hold this or does it kind of fail here? VKTX, interesting play there, guys. What do you guys think about Viking Therapeutics? No one's playing that one today? What's up? Austin Powers Marathon this weekend. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Wisdom. Where is that at? I want to watch some Austin Powers. I'll start laughing a little bit. Hey, I missed them Austin Powers. They need to come back with another one, man. Cotton CMAX breakdown short from 695. All right, let's take a look at that. CMAX. CMAX starts to break down there towards that 675. did cut down there. This is kind of like a deeper dive on the 5-minute, but look how this aligns with the trend line here. Doesn't look too bad here for this level to hold now. You did get an undercut to like 650s. So that's kind of like the out that I would think right now. If this is going to recover, this is the area where it's going to recover right off of this kind of 655 level, but it's definitely trying to wipe some traders out, and it did on that downturn. It took some traders with it. Let's see if it starts to make the up move here. And a bad outlook there on that Care Max. I could see what you're looking at least staying in it there. The 15-minute is one way that you can look at this a little bit closer to. And you can see how this was kind of a prior resistance trying to act as support, and you're undercutting it, right? And so it needs to kind of hold in there. I'd like to look at like a 5-minute chart because you could still get a wick down there and then a recovery. So just be careful with the shorter time frames, trying to maybe wick you out and scare you a little bit. 3-minute still has this 70-something hold, and then could start working its way back. Really, 1750s is what you're going to need to see if this is going to get hot, but it's not a bad support layer to try to get after. I see it there, at least. That's for sure. XLF trying to bounce a little bit there. We'll look to see if it does make a bounce here, but definitely want to start getting bigger on this XLF. And I think it could come right back down towards the opening price today. Opening price was $42.97. So about 30 cents away from where it is right now. Here's a pop back towards the 38. Still got the ad at 43.49s for another 100 shares. Well, look at that. TQQQ chomping all around there, guys. If you guys see any of these smaller names starting to make a move again, let me know, guys. I do see, what is that, RGC moving again? Yeah, RGC trying to hold this 14, trying to come back there. I don't know, man. Do we play this one again? There's play here for sure. I don't mind the 14 here, guys. I've already taken a crazy type of trade here earlier today, was able to kill it. Just got to stay small if you're doing this RGC. So what I'm going to do here, guys, I'm going to try to start the starter here, and then I'm going to go really small and looking for pullbacks to add here. So it's the tiniest amount shares on the first amount. Ooh, the spread just widened on me. I was trying to get 14. Let me see if I can still get it here. I don't mind this trade. There's a setup there off the 15-minute, the 9 EMA pullback. Let's take a look at the hourly. Hourly levels could hold here off the 1351. So that's kind of the layer that I can risk off of right now. You just undercut that and then recovered that. So that's a good sign there. So that's the kind of the layer that I want to watch for little quick pullbacks here. There's that spread, though. That spread is hard to get around. I will tell you that right now, guys. But this could make a run of what? It's like 14 to 18, so it's $4 on the upside. So keeping that in mind, what can I do for $4? There would still be a nice gain there, right? Short on Goldman Sachs there at the 500. Still looking to add on that one. We'll see what happens on that one, but taking a short on Goldman Sachs. Still liking this RGC off of this 14. But no entry just yet, guys. Always, Shane, always here for you, man. And like always, man, the only thing I can do is tell you what I see on the chart. And like always, Shane, you've been doing awesome, man. So I wish you the best. And we all get caught sometimes. I appreciate you being transparent and talking about it, because most traders are going to hide. Let's not be the traders that hide. Let's help each other, keep each other in the game, just like we do for Bulls. Bullseye, right? We've been trying to keep them in the game. What's up out there, Bullseye? Where you went, man? You disappeared on me. All right, let's keep going. Let's see what else is out there. BFI, a small one moving up. Okay, not a bad one to catch there. Got me the box set, the movie. Had them fembots. Oh, man. Yeah, soon you might get those bots for real. Here's that recovery now. It's trying to get there for RGC. It doesn't look bad, man. I'm telling you guys, it's just a hard trade because of the spread. If I did go after this, I would be maybe thinking like, okay, so maybe 50 shares is what I want to get up to. Maybe 100 shares max. So slowly sizing it up and putting a ladder out there, like at like maybe 10 shares each. Something like that is what makes sense for me. We'll see what happens here. There's that undercut towards the 1350s. Let's see if we get a 1350 bid with 14s, and then it just comes right back around. Goldman Sachs giving me that little lift there, guys. So I'm going to be trying to add to this Goldman Sachs trade, guys. So we're back towards the 501. So I'm going to go off the bid or the offer. So I'm looking at 502 for another add. It's at 501.37, but could go up to the 501.75. So just looking to keep adding on this one, 20 shares at a time, and just trying to work my position up higher. So 502 would be the next add there. I'm at 546. Just got to keep that in mind. Goldman Sachs, baby. It's a fast one. Put it up to the 502.20s to give myself a little bit of room there to add if it pops up there. So I can give it to the 40s. See if maybe we get a double top attempt here. Double top is where I'll add. XLF going for that double top also. So I'm looking for that slight push through on the XLF to come right back down. So starting to take some shots there in financials. Those will need to break a little bit later. Going to watch this, trying to see that double top there. See if it starts to double top and starts to work its way back down. How did my clean spark do? Oh no, it's back down. Do we take it again, team? Do we take it again? It's a tough one. TQQQ trying to turn things around, man. This thing is on the choppy chop today. Chop. I'll tell you one thing though, the 15-minute tells me there's some buying pressure down here. So I know that a lot of people are probably thinking it's a short kind of day, but there is some buying pressure here on the TQQQ that tells me that maybe you start to see a quick sweep back up. But that scares me because I'm in an XLF, but I just got to be honest, right? What I'm seeing is I call it how I see it. The only question is it working or not? Serve back down towards the 1320s. So happy I took my money and ran on that trade. We'll see if that holds. RGC. How's that one do? Let's see here. Still holding in here, guys. So giving the opportunity for some sizing to get in there. We'll see what happens if RGC can take the next step up. It really has to move there. Now the only question is, do I want to take the trade? That's the hard part there on RGC. XLF double topping pretty much towards the 4350s. I still got an add towards 50. I'm going to do 55s. So give myself still a little room for a little bit more pop and then the drop. Run trying to come back there. I don't know if run comes back there. I mean, it is slightly above the VWAP. Will this one keep just driving? Find out, guys. 100,000 shares going through there just recently. So definitely somebody's taking the trade. WINT has just been going down all day. We'll look to see if it comes back. But man, that was a short out the gates. CUR back to 1076, hanging out below the VWAP. Will this one make the move back to 1175s? I mean, it's not a bad risk to return on this CUR. Hourly holding in the VWAP pullback. Doesn't look too bad here, guys. Wisdom, how's your CUR, man? What do you think about Coursera? It's holding in pretty decently right there. See what happens. Goldman Sachs up there to the 502s. Might fill me towards 503 even if I put it up on just a kind of a pop fill. I'm at the 502.50s. So I'll give myself to the 502.60s for that last add. Looking for this to get back through 500 and then I can go ahead and take another swing. But if I do get ads here, it needs to be at the better ad there. Nike, is that coming back on the green side today? Pulling back below the VWAP. This actually makes me feel good about this one. Was looking to see if Nike could come back with that Decker's report. Nike, can you make the move here off the 72s? 72.20 recovery. Doesn't look bad at all here as it just undercut there towards the 72.17. We'll look to see if Nike gets back there towards 72.70s. Not a bad move as Nike tries to start getting off the bottom today. We'll see if that can hold. RGC back towards 14, lower 14s here. See what happens, guys. This one's chomping all around. Could come to the downside here. All right, and what are you guys trading in the chat? Let me know in the chat, guys. CUR hit it twice, got 3,000. I'm good. And gone, not coming back till next week, perhaps. Okay. All right. WINT, we'll see what happens there. BFI, waiting orders. Okay. RGC trying again, says Greg Scott. I see it, Greg Scott. We'll see if we get that one to move or not. Here's that cut down towards that 1350s. Let's see if we get 14 on the offer. Goldman Sachs ripping there, guys. Goldman Sachs pressuring me for sure, guys, as it starts to rip. Got to be careful with XLF because I'm only slightly down on XLF, right? So one way to manage this is to get out of XLF and then to look to get back in there. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of XLF right now for a $41 loss so that I can go manage Goldman Sachs, because that's what I need to use my buying power for, because this is getting a spike. And really, I mean, I don't see this as coming back there and taking out the highs. That's where I got to pay attention to now, because we should kind of definitely not get through that layer. That's the 504 right now going towards 509. So got to be careful there as we start to get towards 504. And what am I seeing? I got to see the TQQQ at the bottom. This could come right back. It just undercut there and starting to come back there. I feel like there's some big buying coming off of that 64.19s. So be careful out there, traders. We'll see what happens here. There's definitely some shake trying to happen. The Qs tried to shake down. All of a sudden, do we get a ramp back up in the SPY? I'm paying attention to it. It's a choppy day. So be careful out there, traders. Goldman Sachs, guys. I got 501. It's at 503. Got to really be careful here if it starts to rip through and gets there towards the 504. All right, we'll keep watch on that to see what happens. I could still add to this Goldman Sachs, but I start to expose myself really quickly through that 504. Going to look to see if I can start to get this back down towards the 501. If it gets back through 500, it's fine. If not, this is still looking very bullish on the day. I have to be smart and get out while the getting's good. There's that 504 crack. Now I got to really be careful. It needs to come right back down below that 504. If not, I'm probably going to get stopped out here, guys. We'll see what happens. And if I do get this stopped, guys, this will be the last one. I made my way back from 300. I'm back close to getting back towards that 300 out. And I've been keeping that on the downside, right? On the upside, I've gotten a nice $600 day this week, a couple 300 and a couple 100 days. So, hey, just trying to battle, just trying to keep the battle on. We'll see what happens here. RGC back down there, guys. Did undercut towards that 1350s. Now that RGC is available to you, if you're looking for that undercut to just come right back up and ramp, we'll see what happens here. 1380s seems like an interesting area, and then risking off a 13 here. But man, it's a tough one to trade, that's for sure. We'll see what happens on this one. RGC, if I didn't have such a red on Goldman Sachs, I'd probably take the trade here. But at least it's back down to 502. We'll see what happens with that. If Goldman Sachs could get green, I don't mind taking a look at RGC. I'm not going to take the trade while I'm red big, right? Because that's just asking to take another trade and get even bigger red. Next thing you know, you're just really upset. So we'll see what happens on that RGC. Now it's trying to undercut that 1350s. This is where you wash out some traders. It's washing out some traders. You can see it at the bottom. The time in sales is triggering there. 38s, 28s. Somebody got triggered on those stops. Now we're going to look to see if it just starts to ramp back. Goldman Sachs coming right back down towards the 502. Definitely don't want to see it go back to that 504. So just keeping that in mind. That TQQQ, what a trap there. VKTX, though, staying strong, man. This is a good chart. I honestly think that this is a trade that we did not take this week that could have been a really good trade. Especially yesterday and today, VKTX holding really well. And it held to a key. Got right back to the resistance. So not looking too bad there. All right, have a blessed weekend, Wisdom. I hope you enjoy it, man. It's 10:52. We're going to wrap it up here, guys. I'm going to start to wrap up the day. We'll see what happens out there in the market, but definitely it's a choppy chop type of day, so be careful out there, guys. The Qs are still leaving that room for a quick little sweep back to the upside. I'm not seeing it right now. It looks just like a slow leak out, and it gave one attempt to get back up there above the VWAP and failed. So be careful out there if you start to see that leak. If it does start leaking through that 460, I'll actually feel better about Goldman Sachs. You can see Goldman Sachs is now back below into the double digits. That's a good sign. Need this to go back through 500 to really make me feel confident that I got it. And I could go back to XLF later in the day. If this starts to get in the green, I take some green and then could short XLF to try to jump on that. How I did this trade last time, I went short on Goldman Sachs, got green on Goldman Sachs, then levered into XLF, and also the levered trade, which is going to be, which is the levered financial? I think it's FAZ. It's FAS. That's it. FAZ is the, it's FAZ. It's FAZ. It's FAZ is the bear 3-time leverage. So what I would look for this is a long on bears. So long on this FAZ, short on the XLF, short on Goldman Sachs is the way I went at it last time. We'll see if that works out once I start getting back into the green. I hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Get after it, team. Hey, Mitch, did you find about the if we could short the hard to borrow with the funded accounts? Man, I got to be honest, Leon. I kind of failed you on that one. Give me like just 5 minutes. Let me find out about that one. I have that question. I think I definitely can give you the answer. Just give me a second with that one, all right? I know someone that I can ask really quickly. Let me go ahead and do so and see if I can get you a quick answer. All right? Let me see if I can go ahead and do that. I'll ask my man to see if I can go ahead and find out. He should definitely know. All right, I'll see if I get the answer before 11 o'clock. Before we get out of here, guys, going to focus on, of course, Goldman Sachs to see if it can come down, see if it wants to break, or just watching for a potential Q's reversal back to the upside. And if that happens, I could just trade TQQQ, right? Get out, look for the TQQ to start ripping higher. Of course, keep your eyes on that one because I'm telling you guys, that's going to be something definitely to take a look at it. All right, guys. So I got an answer. It's a little bit of a mixed answer here. So it depends on trade the pool if we can get the locate on the back end or not. If not, the order would just not get filled. So that's what I got the answer on, Leon. Just got that right there. So always here to try to get you answers. And like always, reach out to our customer service if you have a little bit more questions on this, right? I gave you the answer right now, the quick answer, but I would still reach out to them to get that kind of deeper in-depth answer, right? So that you understand exactly how things are working. Serve might be ramping up again, says Great Scott. We'll keep our watch on Serve to see if it keeps serving it up out there. I'll tell you one thing, it's a robotics play. That's why I got to be careful for shorting Serve because robotics right now is hot. Autonomous is hot. Those are the two areas in AI where I think the hype is going to, and not the large language models like, let's say, Microsoft, OpenAI, things like that. I think you're going to see more and more go towards robotic focus, so those types of plays, we've got to be careful on the short side of things. But like always, you guys call your own shots. I wish you guys the best, even if you're shorting my stock, right? I always wish you guys the best because at the end of the day, I want you guys to have success. That's why we do what we do here every single week. So let me know, guys, if you guys are enjoying things and always giving me feedback because at the end of the day, I do this here for you guys out there. I don't do this for myself. I could go trade and do this every single day, right? So like always, guys, smash that like, hit the subscribe down below, and don't miss the Olympics. Our Olympics competition starting next week. U85 right now. Go sign up. If you're not signed up, you're going to miss out because on Sunday, we are locking it up. So don't come here on Monday mad at me because you didn't go ahead and take the trade and take the opportunity to get the competition account. So there's the link, guys. One last time, I'm giving you the chance. Hey, if you're having some issues, reach out to our customer service. Let them know your email. Let them know that you're trying to sign up. Bull's ready to go. Next week, we're going to put Bullseye to the test. I know. I see you out there, Bull. You better get ready, man. I want to see you killing it. Signed up for 3 of them. Sign up for all 4 of them, man. Come on. You can do it. I'm wishing you the best, my friend. And the best part is, if you sign up for 4 of them, you got 4 of them to take swings on. Let's get after it, team. I'm going to be trading all 4 of them next week. I will be putting my other accounts on the sideline and focusing on those. Let's get after it, Bullseye. You know it, man. We're going to do it here on Trade the Pool. We don't stop here. We got a lot more for you guys. Let's always keep pushing and trying to improve the skills. The habit that we tried to improve this week was starting small. And today, I definitely still ran into a little bit of trouble there with CleanSpark, but still trying to learn, right? Because the truth is, if we don't make improvements week in and week out, then we're just wasting time, team. Let's try to improve every single week so that we can get to success. I'll see you guys back, of course, next week. Keep getting after it. The competition will start next week. Enjoy the Olympics this weekend. Enjoy your families. Stay safe. Always keep trying to take the step to the next level, and I'll be here to join you on that journey. Let's keep getting after it. It's Trade the Pool Live. Money Mitch. We'll see you guys on Monday.